All right, howdy Wasteland. This is Marty the Nuka Boy, and we're back for an episode 4. And today I'm bringing you Onyxprops, who's known in the Fallout circles as a prop maker, a content creator, Fallout content creator, and one of your favorite NCR Rangers. And without further ado, here's Onyx. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me on. It was awesome hanging out with you guys at Goodsprings, finally in person. It was a good time.
Right on. I couldn't agree more. Also, before we fully dive in, for everybody watching, excuse my appearance because I still look like I'm in the wasteland. I forgot to shave, so I got a little bit of a wasteland look to me. And but yeah, here we are. It is what it is. No, man, it's awesome to have you, and like you mentioned, I mean, Good Springs just happened a week ago, and I'm still trying to digest everything that we went through over there. It was great meeting you and Zio and all the other creators and people, Wastelanders and whatnot. And we're gonna be bringing you guys a special episode with Cam, aka Two Camp Cosplays, and Spencer, Mr. Wild Wasteland. I can't talk today. And we're just gonna,
The name's a little bit of a tongue twister.
I know it is. Say that 3 times fast. And we're just gonna be talking about Good Springs and everything, that went down there, personal experiences, and of course Spencer's journey to the U.S. and Good Springs in general. So it's gonna be a blast. But today we're here with you, Onyx, and we're gonna be talking Good Springs. We're gonna be talking about your Fallout journey, your collecting journey, and everything that goes under that umbrella. So, yeah, you already kind of mentioned it. So, yeah, let's kick it off with Good Springs. I understand that it was your first time going to Nevada, going to the West, and Good Springs,
A
and
lot of firsts,
a
a lot of
lot.
firsts that last weekend. First time on a plane, first time the West Coast, first time at Goodsprings, and of
Nice.
course, apparently Vegas gets like what 6 inches of rain a year, and it just all dropped on the biggest day. My first time the West Coast.
Happened to be
Like,
it.
man, I left the East Coast to get away from this gray skies and the crappy weather, and I just came right back to it in the West Coast. It's like it was the same it was at home. It's like I never left. I was
I
like,
know,
man,
right?
it was nice a little bit. Like I got to Nevada Thursday, and it was really nice Thursday. If
Mm-hmm.
I just would have stayed like that all weekend, it would have been amazing. But
Mm-hmm.
you can only do so much with when it's an outdoor convention. Mother Nature will do what it wants, unfortunately.
Can't have it all. Thursday was a pretty good day because, like you, a lot of us did drive on that Thursday to set up camp and everything. Thursday was just almost too warm. That first night out, I mean, all of us were just like, halfway out of our sleeping bags. It was just like almost like a nice, midsummer night. And yeah, we got cured of that rather quickly with the when Friday started to wind down, and it just came down hard. But it is what it is, and I don't know. It just kind of had its own charm. It just it I think it brought out the best of people. During that
But yeah, it
event.
definitely showed how committed all of us were. I mean, all of the whole entire weekend, I was at Goodsprings almost the entire time. Like I was just soaking wet in my Ranger cosplay, and me and Zio and Pickle Goat, we're just hopping tent to tent, building to building, just to stay
Right.
out of their way. Just absolutely downpouring on us all weekend, but we persisted. It was still a good time. I mean, in the moment, it was a little miserable at sometimes, but
Hmm.
looking back at it, I'm like, it was definitely an experience and a lot of bonding with friends over the weekend. Try to
For
stay warm.
for sure. We were all miserable together, and it just kind of,
Exactly.
you know.
It builds character.
Oh, it for sure does. And I mean, that was us that Saturday morning, because I mean, I woke up around 6:30 ish in the morning, and it was still raining, and I'm like, oh, okay, great, here we go. and it's like because it started raining about Friday, on and
Like
off.
sprinkling a little bit,
Right,
yeah.
right. And Friday was the day to do everything. So like you wanted to film, you wanted to take a bunch of pictures, you wanted to see actors, vendors, what have you. Friday was the day to do it. But that Saturday, I mean, I just remember sitting in camp, and we got a break in the weather, and we were just kind of, what are we gonna do? And like, oh, we're already out here, we're not just gonna spend it in camp, trying to
Yeah.
sit on our thumbs. Let's just, the hell with it. Just kid up, go to town, and that's
Yeah.
exactly what we did.
And it sucks. It's like, man, I came. Well, I mean, you guys have like a little bit of a drive. But like, man,
Hmm.
I flew half across the country and like
Right.
almost across the country. Like, man, I'm just gonna bear it. I've been in the rain before. I used to have a
Hmm.
blue collar job working in the rain.
Hmm.
The only difference is I'm wearing a helmet, and a bunch of armor. It's like it
Right.
is what it is. At least it kept. Surprisingly, when I took everything off, my t-shirt underneath was completely dry. It was just
Hmm.
everything else, like my hair and everything, was all wet. But my armor, my duster did its job, so that's good to know.
That's
I
great.
waterproof my stuff pretty good, so
Functional.
it's a good test. I've never wore any of that in the rain before, so it's like, hey, they're gonna fall apart or it's gonna stay together. We're gonna find
This is
out.
it. This is the ultimate test. Yeah, kind of like you. I had a couple dry spots on me, and it was basically my torso, well, my chest,
Yeah.
underneath the armor, a little bit on the inside of my legs, and my feet were actually dry because I switched to my heavier boots. So my feet were dry, and I think that was so much better because had my feet been drenched wet, I think the experience would have been a
Oh,
lot
I've
more
been
miserable.
miserable.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're just walking through all that all day.
Right.
Yeah, my boots, I just had like some desert like surplus boots I got.
Mm-hmm.
Surprisingly, I stayed really dry with those
Mm-hmm.
because they're like leather
Right.
and I just had regular jeans on, but since my duster covers like the whole sides of my legs
Mm-hmm.
and everything, like my legs were pretty much dry except like maybe the very bottom of my pants were a little wet. But I
Right.
surprisingly was shocked I was as dry as I was being soaked in the rain all day.
Right on.
It was like I said, definitely an experience.
It sure
Very very
was.
memorable.
Yeah, one for the books. That's for sure. And like I remember on that Saturday, I was like, okay, like I'm not wearing my loot bag, with all uh the nuka nuke.
Trinkets
Yeah,
and
yeah. I was like, let's keep that here. I'm not gonna drag the wagon or anything like that. I'm gonna leave the helmet in camp too. So I was wearing my cowboy hat, which actually it was actually a pretty solid decision because it actually kept most of the rain out of
yeah,
my face.
Spencer had his on when we were
Right.
going to the saloon, which was like right when Walton Goggins them
Hmm.
showed up. We were standing right outside the door, and all of the rain was bouncing off his head, hitting me
Right.
right in the face.
Yeah.
I'm like, you want to just like tilt your head a little bit, or just like take a step back a little bit? It's like it's dripping off the roof,
Hmm.
splashing off the brim, and just hitting me in the front of the face. It's kind of funny.
I know it was hilarious because every time I bent down, like all the rain just freaking trickled down out of my hat. And the other thing was, a lot of people were having their umbrellas out, and so you could just see the water, cascading from one umbrella to the other, and then down my back, multiple times. So I was like, well, there goes my dry back. But I mean, it was
I'm
just
glad you guys are dry.
right. Uh, yeah, I mean, it was just crazy, and it was that Saturday, when it finally did start to pour. We were standing right outside the saloon when, just like all hell broke loose. Everybody started cheering, and I'm like, "What the hell is going on?" And that was like you mentioned just a second ago when the crew got there, Walton Goggins and Aaron Moten and Jonah Nolan, and we're like, "Are you freaking kidding me?" And like the ironic part of that is that just the night before, I'm talking to the guys, and I'm like, you know what, like this event is getting pretty big. It's getting some traction, gaining notoriety, nationwide, pretty much. Like I wouldn't be surprised if next year or a couple years from now, we get the main stars of the show. And
Yeah, we got
there
two of
you
the
go.
three. That's pretty
There
and the
you go.
director. That's pretty crazy. I
Yep.
somebody the day before, it might have been Spencer. Maybe it was Amanda. I'm not sure. We're talking about, oh yeah, the Amazon Prime van is supposed to show up. So maybe
Hmm.
that's like a or foreshadowing. They might be doing something bigger this weekend. I was
Hmm.
like, okay. And then as soon as I was in the saloon, a bunch of flashes go on. I'm like, okay, something's happening right now. I was at the right place at the right time. We were just taking pictures with the little hacksaw cutout at the
Mm-hmm.
Goodsprings sign. We were just walking over, like, oh hey, I bumped into Spencer. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna catch up with these guys real quick, and we went our separate ways for a minute. And yeah, then we were like right when we went out in the saloon because we were just there to get a drink, and they just
Mm-hmm.
happened to all show up. I'm like, what? I'm like, what is going on? Right, I seemed to have that a couple of times that weekend,
Mm-hmm.
and then the rest of it was the wrong place, the wrong time because of the rain. But I happened to get lucky with a couple spots. Being, I got to meet Wes Johnson Sunday too. I was at the right place too. He was just walking around hanging
Nice.
out.
Right.
I got to talk to him too a little bit, so that was pretty cool.
That yeah, that's awesome. And real quick, shout out to Hacksaw Courier and his life size cutout being dragged around Goodsprings. I got to see it too on my last day when we were walking out of town on that Sunday when what's her name? I'm blanking at right now. Was carrying it.
Oh, pickled goat.
Right, pick a go. There you go.
Yep.
She was carrying him. It was kind of getting like the streaks of paint. Just kind of streaking. All
It's
across
falling
the cutout,
apart.
getting drenched too. So he got the full treatment too. Uh,
Yep, he definitely fared the weather about as good as I did. I don't know how he's looking a week later, but at least we Sunday we did find a spot for him in the saloon.
that's great.
We stuck him behind the miniature of the saloon. We
Hmm.
stuck him right behind it, and he looked like a giant reaching over it. And then like a couple days later, they stuck him behind the Yes Man that was in there. And then they took a
Nice.
bunch of pictures of him around the saloon. They moved the ball around. It was pretty funny.
That's awesome. Hacksaw's immortalized in the Fallout shrine inside the saloon. That's great.
I told him we get in there somehow. Yeah, Pickle Goat made the cutout. She made a Sheffield one from Fallout 4. So
Nice.
we reached out to her like, hey, how'd you do this? So then it
Hmm.
was kind of a collaborative thing between the three of us. She did most of the work.
Hmm.
I kind of just sprang the idea, and then he sent the pictures over, and she made it. So it's
Nice.
kind of like a collaborative little triangle we did there.
Yeah,
But we got
that's
Hex
a
at a
fun
Good
one.
Springs one way or another.
There
So
you go.
maybe he'll be there in person
Mission
next year.
accomplished. Yeah, I mean, that's not. It's not the only thing, or not the only way that Haxo actually reached Goodsprings, because he had a whole messenger bag sent out
Yeah,
and
yep,
delivered by, I think it was Tyler, one of the
yep.
photographers. I actually managed to snag one of my posters that he created.
Oh,
So,
that's cool.
so it was delivered to Tyler, distributed
Yep.
by that Fallout guy, which I
Okay.
it was my only encounter with that Fallout guy, and it was Friday night outside the saloon where I
Yeah, I think
managed to
you were.
catch him.
Yeah, I bumped into you that first time. You had your whole setup, the wagon,
Hmm.
and you looked like you were about to give me a quest. You were just standing there. You just like had your hands at your hips, had a wagon, looked like you're about to hit out some quests or something. Then
That's
I
right.
walked over and that Fallout guy was right there, and I talked to him for like 2 seconds. He had a dip,
Hmm.
but then he was right behind me when Walton Goggins was at the saloon. And I talked to him
Nice.
for like maybe a minute amongst all the chaos. That was the only time I caught him the whole weekend.
Right. I mean, yeah, he definitely had his hands full, running
Yes.
around like a headless chicken. I mean, he was. I mean, he got a lot of good footage too. I just hit him up the
He
other
did.
day when he posted it on Instagram. Like, I didn't even understand how he got all that drone footage and
Yeah,
everything.
I don't either. I was walking around the whole weekend on my free, my free time, and I got almost no footage. I kind of didn't
Mm-hmm.
really.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was my first time, so I was more so scouting everything out. Like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, where's everything at? Where are these people? My phone had no service the whole weekend. Couldn't get a hold of anybody.
Right.
Like, I was trying to get a hold of Spencer. Like, hey, where are you at? Trying to get a hold of
Mm-hmm.
whoever. And then they had like the NCR photo shoots. I missed all of those. And
Mm-hmm.
there was a lot going on. And with the rain,
Mm-hmm.
it kind of pushed all my Saturday plans back to Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
and then all my Sunday plans pretty much just did not happen at all. Like I was, me and Pickle Go, we both finished. Well, she completely made her cosplay this year, her NCR trooper,
Nice.
and then I
Man,
just
that looked
stripped.
great.
I just remade mine,
Right.
and
Yeah.
we both. She does photography as
Mm-hmm.
a job, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So she's got a nicer camera, but I had mine. I do it casually as like a hobby.
Right.
And we were like, hey, let's set up a day Sunday or Monday. We'll take like good pictures of each other's
Mm-hmm.
cosplays because we haven't, at being a photographer, hobby or professionally, you don't have anyone to take pictures of you, which sucks.
Right.
So we're trying to do each other a favor. Like, hey, we only have cell phone pictures. Let's get some cool, nice focus shots with a cool
Mm-hmm.
background. The rain just like I said, that was our plan for Sunday. Just did not happen at all, which kind of sucks. But
Yeah, yeah,
it is what it is.
it is what it is. The rain definitely did throw a monkey wrench into everything, and I believe she even had a like photography job when she first got to town or something. I remember mentioning that in
Yeah,
the video or whatever.
yeah.
Uh,
She had some stuff for some friends she had to do Friday,
right,
so she
right.
didn't actually get to Goodsprings till Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And then Zio and I got there Friday to Buffalo Bills, and that man, we didn't get to Goodsprings like 4 o'clock Friday, so I kind of just pushed everything back. It was
Right.
just
Yeah.
crazy weekend.
I mean, it definitely was, and I mean, I brought all my gear out there, including my drone, but my drone's not waterproof. None of my cameras are waterproof, so none of that got taken out besides my cell phone. So I was just like,
Same.
but it's like, you know, that was one of the decisions that we also had to make, because like if you want to do anything, like Friday is the way to do it, but it's just like spend your entire Friday, taking like really kick-ass shots, with all your gear. You can do that, but you're gonna miss out on meeting everybody else, and like
Yeah,
this was really great about this year because I mean I had a list of people that I really wanted to hit up, vendors and otherwise, and it all just kind of happened on its own. Either they ran into me or I ran into them. Nothing
yeah,
was planned, and like had we done anything differently, all of that would have been non-existent. It wouldn't have happened, So it's just like we kind of went with the flow, and that's why we're like Saturday. I mean, yeah, it's raining, but like no, we're definitely going.
yeah. It was kind of the same thing for me. Like I had plans for stuff, but waiting in lines pushed a lot of stuff. Pretty much pushed Friday plans back to Saturday.
Hmm.
Then everything raining Saturday. Like I said, it just I had to end up pretty much improv everything, and kind of like you said, you just happen to bump into everybody. Like
Hmm.
when we got off the shuttle bus, as soon as I walked off, the very first person I saw was Mrs. Fallout. I was like,
Oh, that's
"Holy
great.
crap! Like, what are the odds of that?" She was
Right.
super. Her and her husband are super nice. I ended up they looked busy, so I just said hi and kind of
Hmm.
went on my way. And I got a picture with them. I think Saturday or
Hmm.
Sunday.
See, I didn't
Super
even
nice
see them.
people.
I didn't even see them,
They
but
were they were very low key. I kind of
hmm.
like I caught them like randomly. Like I just saw them from behind and
Hmm.
just recognized them. Like I recognized like her side profile because she's got the glasses and
Hmm.
she usually has a hat on, like a leather jacket or something.
Hmm.
And her bag said Mrs. Fallout. I was like, holy crap, that is her.
Right.
Um,
Or somebody cosplaying Mrs. Fallout.
that honestly, that'd be so funny if somebody did. I'd
Right.
love to see that. Honestly, somebody cosplaying,
Yeah.
even like a Scotty K cosplay, would be so funny to see.
Right. Yeah. Well, we did end up seeing him by the shitters of all places, where we just kind of it was just that Friday because like I had this whole game going on, spin the wheel, kind of like the Nuka World type thing, and we're just kind of because like there were trucks passing by, and so we just kind of kept scooting over. Wound up being by the shitters. And before I even get to that, it was funny because I myself didn't end up getting the VIP ticket, and so I was like, well, I guess I'll just stand by the shitters, wait for all the guests, to go and take a shit or whatever.
Maybe catch a glimpse of them.
Right. And so we ended up, being by the shitters, and in comes freaking Scotty K, who kicked the shit out of Cam's shield.
I was gonna say, is that when he? I was gonna say, was that when he kicked his shield? That's
Yep.
great. That was such a. I just want to kick the shit out of your shield. That's
Yep.
great.
His
That's so
words,
in character for him
his
too.
words, yeah, he approached us, it was just such Scotty K moment. Super chill guy, took pictures with all of us, spun the wheel, won a prize, and just like the chillest dude, like exactly how you see him in his videos, like that's exactly how he is.
Almost all these people at this event were just like they're in their videos, which
Hmm.
is really cool.
Hmm. Which
A
is,
lot of really nice people. We have such a great community, man. It's definitely the
mhm.
best community I've been a part of by far.
Oh yeah, I think we all share that sentiment, and it's like events like these, that started off, um, by fans for fans. It, I mean, typically, that's what you see is what you get, and it's just like a totally kick-ass event, and you have a good time, even when the weather is just totally betraying you, and it's just like otherwise. a pretty shitty situation, but you know, that is definitely not the outcome. That I
No,
got.
we made the best of what we were given. Like I said, you can only um my only things with the event were the Lions, which I'm sure they'll work the kinks out of more next year. Because from
Mm-hmm.
what I heard, this is the biggest year they had, so I'm sure they weren't expecting all these people.
Mm-hmm.
Which you can't really do much about that. And then the rain, obviously, you can't do anything about that because
Mm-hmm.
it's an outdoor event.
Right.
So hoping next year it'll be even better. This year was a great first experience. I
Mm-hmm.
just wish if it was just sprinkled instead of
Mm-hmm.
pouring, I would have been cool with that. That's not their fault, obviously. But next year,
Right.
be
Right.
even better.
Yeah. It was good because last year we didn't get any rain, but it was a lot colder, especially at night. But
That's
during
what I heard too.
hmm But during the day, I mean, it was cloudy. It kind of looked like it was gonna rain, but it was a little windier too. But last year we only stayed for one day, so I mean, definitely a step up from last year too. Not to say that last year wasn't enjoyable. It's just that's what I was talking to Spencer and the other guys about. It's like they just managed to do it even better every year after that. Like all the years. I mean, I wasn't part of the first two, but from what I heard, like they're always great. But the next year after that is just that much better. And I mean, they just raised the bar, way high with all the guests they were able
Yeah,
to
I mean,
get.
bringing the cast out,
Mhm.
that's crazy.
Mhm.
And I don't know how they pull that off. That's insane.
I mean, it's just, I mean, a big shout out to, the old man Liver and the staff of the Pioneer Saloon, Fallout for Hope, Amazon, and all the other guest stars. All the voice actors, um, vendors, and all the volunteers. I mean, holy crap! You know, I mean, it's just something special when you see the what do they call the 31st motorized infantry, NCR troopers just like grab shovels and everything, start filling up sandbags to literally
Yeah, when it's
save some of the
pouring,
vendors from.
I was right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was over at we were at pretty much like the bottom of the hill. We were over at Atomic Outfitters. We are talking with
Mhm.
Cam, and she's really nice.
Mhm.
And she was nice enough to let us take shelter while it was downpouring.
Oh, that's great.
And we just look out the little window in their tent. We'd see the NCR guys just shoveling,
Mhm.
shoveling water out and dumping sand in there, putting
Mhm.
sandbags down. Like they really got full into. I mean, they just stayed in character like the whole weekend. They
Yep.
had the whole tent, they had the whole photo shoots, and they were just grabbing. Like it looked like something straight out of, like an actual reenactment. Like
Yeah, it
it's
did.
totally improvised, obviously, but it's so cool
Mhm.
that they just I'm sure there's probably a tax form they sent out or Alaba after or
Yeah.
some kind of form for payment or
Right.
something. But just being
Retrospective.
true, just being true NCR fashion, like you got to pay for the service eventually. But
Oh, see,
no, it,
like,
it was really cool though
gotta ask
to do
Cam.
all
Like,
that.
did you get a bill? Yeah,
Yeah,
afterwards.
did the NCR send you a bill for their services after the tax form attached to the bottom?
Oh, that would be awesome. No, I mean, she was just so unfortunate that like she was basically at the confluence of two rivers. Like at the
Yeah, the
very
very bottom
bottom.
of like that V.
Yeah. I mean,
I was
it
like,
was
man, I wish I
just
could
so
like
much
do
water.
something, but I'm like, I don't know what to even do. I think for most part she fared pretty well. Sunday it looked like nothing got destroyed. I think like she had one cardboard box
Mm-hmm.
that got some water touching the edge of it, but I don't think anything like fragile or was
Mm-hmm.
destroyed or anything in it. I think she like pulled it out pretty quick.
Yeah, luckily
But
all of her stuff was on racks, like clothes
yeah,
racks and stuff. So it was all off the ground. Everything else on the table. So it was super great to see and know that, at least as far as I know, nothing got damaged.
I don't think so. Sunday looked like they were doing pretty good
Mm,
from being flash flooded the day before. They looked like they were in pretty good shape, so that's good.
right, right. Yeah, Sunday. I mean, even if I wanted to, like I did take some damage. Like my thigh armor, basically just the straps came undone, and so it's an easy fix. But like everything got drenched.
Yep.
Otherwise, I mean, if the thighs held up, I would have probably worn it again. But luckily, I had my casual cosplay. Well, it's
Didn't
not
have
even a
any glue to fix it or
it
anything.
well, so one of them actually did hold up, and it just undid itself. So I just lost a screw, which I had a replacement. But the other one just because it was one of the it's the E6000 adhesive. It just takes like at least 24 hours to cure, and it
Yeah,
was just
I've
like,
never really used it because I'm too impatient. Like I like the
yeah,
quick boop fix.
right. It's a great adhesive and everything. I mean, it lasted I mean almost 2 years. Like took all the
Okay,
abuse, and I'm pretty sure
I'm not,
I made it too tight that the day before, and so like when I kept bending over or whatever,
it was just stressing it the whole
mhm,
time. Yeah,
I might just
mine. I run the parachute buckles with mine, so I can
mhm,
adjust it a little bit. But
mhm,
I pretty much I've never used E6000. I'm gonna have to because I used to use hot glue for everything.
mhm,
I got off hot glue and I use contact cement, super
mhm,
glue,
mhm.
which for the most part works really well. But some reason, it does not like fabric like at all. So
Right.
super glue sometimes will grab fabric, but
Mhm. Yeah,
gluing
that's why I like
foam to
this
fabric
one.
doesn't like to stick.
That's why I like this one because it's like once it cures, it's a permanent bond and it's a flexible one. So it does have some give, unless you cross the line a little bit, which I probably should have adjusted my buckles too, but I mean like I said, it's an easy fix. I'm probably going to go with the Chicago screw rivets, where I just
Yeah,
like basically
they just thread in. They're kind of removable a little
hmm
bit. Yeah.
just punch a hole right through because that's what I did with my shin armor. Like the straps are basically affixed to it that way, and like there's no problem.
Yeah, because that way there's no glue. Yeah, it's just you just drill or punch a hole through
hmm
it, and the rivet just threads it in.
that
I've
pe-
bought a couple, and I haven't
hmm
really used them yet. But
hmm
a lot of people who do like Mandalorian helmets and stuff like that will
hmm
use them to keep their visors in, so you can if it
yeah,
breaks or something, you can remove it.
yeah, and it's like that too. One of the straps came undone on the shin armor, but I basically just replaced the screw. Next time I'll just dab a little thread locker in there, and so it's permanently screwed in there. But that shit armor, it was actually a test piece where I was like, I didn't know how the 3D print was gonna behave. Like if I was gonna punch a hole through it. I mean, I did reinforce the walls, so like it does feel pretty solid. But the infill,
Okay.
of it, like I didn't know if it was gonna um, take the take the rivet well. But man, that thing's solid. So like
Yeah,
it was
expanding
a
on your
good test
infill
piece.
is pretty much just walls with the waffle in the middle of it.
hmm
It's really got no grab on it, depending on how much your infill is on.
Right, right. And so it was good to know that it actually held up, and so it's even better when you can kind of when the armor has simulated rivets or bolts or whatever, and you can replace those
Even
with real ones, where it just kind of
yeah,
goes. I always like to do that. So and the thigh armor, I mean, I believe it has a whole bunch of those where I can just kind of.
I think you're right. I think the chest armor has some too. I want
hmm
to say I've never. It's like the Fallout 4 combat
hmm
armor you used, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I've never like looked too much at it. I've watched a couple
Right.
videos of people make them out of foam,
That one was
which is
actually the
obviously
easiest when it comes to strapping because it actually so like the shoulder straps it's all built in and you basically just
yeah.
thread
Those
the
like little
yeah
bracket things. Yeah.
and then the back, well, the sides is the same way. It has actual bars on there, and the back uh it has openings for a round stock, so basically a rod, excuse me, that I put in there, and it basically becomes a sort of like a buckle. It differs from the 76 because the 76 one kind of has um like flat square buckles on there, so that's something that I would have to attach. But because this was made that way, where basically the rod has nowhere to go because once you epoxy it in, it's there. That was actually the most solid two pieces of the armor, where the strapping was just it had nowhere to go. Like it has
Right.
nowhere to break, or no way to break. So it wasn't. It's the biceps and the thighs where basically the straps have to be glued to the inside of it, or either
I
bolted on there. But
I have to do that for my whole chest armor because with the NCR, it's like it's pretty much just a curved piece of armor. There's no rivets. You
mm,
can't even see the strapping. You never see the back of the armor.
mm-hmm,
I don't know if there even is a model for anything underneath the
right,
duster coat. I don't think there is. So you kind of have to figure out. Like I just had to glue. Uh, I got like pieces of elastic in certain spots, and I
Mm-hmm.
have like just nylon strapping. I would just glue it to the back and just put a piece of foam over that and
Mm-hmm.
glue that over it and hope it holds. And for the
Right.
most part, since I made the new armor, it seems to stick better. I don't know if it's just a better foam I'm using
Mm-hmm.
or it's using contact cement, so it's super or hot glue. It's probably a little bit of both.
Right.
Yeah, never going back to hot glue. I got too many burn
Too many
scars on my
burns.
hands from
Right.
that. Too many burn scars over the last 10 or 11 years from doing that. So
Right. Right. But
contact cement's definitely a way to go now for me. It's works
yeah.
so much better.
Yeah, it really does. But hey, maybe they'll show us in season two. Maybe they'll show us, a back of an NCR Ranger or something.
Give, give me something. I'd like it to be lore accurate. I
Right.
had a back plate at one point just to
Mm-hmm.
like bulk out my
Mm-hmm.
back a little bit, and
For that
I
little
am just getting
backpack
rid of
too,
it.
right?
Yeah, that exactly. Yeah, so that's actually why I made it originally was so I could magnet the back tank to it through
Mm-hmm.
the coat. But I wasn't using strong enough magnets for it, so it just fall off. So I was just like whatever. So when I remade it,
Right.
my my new one, I just ditched it. And I'm like, I'll figure out the thing later. So then I would just super glued a Velcro on the back of it, and it held on like right before the convention. It held on the whole time. I was really
Nice.
surprised.
Maybe they'll
But
show us what the tanks are for too. I mean, I'm assuming it's something for the mask or
I I want to say it's
filtration.
an oxygen tank, or
Mm-hmm.
I think I read somewhere somebody said in a concept art it was like a water supply, which it would also make
Mm-hmm.
sense. Because in the game, well, another thing that doesn't make sense to me is I don't know a lot about gas masks, but I've
Mm-hmm.
seen some where there's an external oxygen tank on the back,
Mm-hmm.
and the hose from that would be connected into the helmet because that's
Mm-hmm.
filtering out the air and feeding it in.
Right.
Well, in the game, it just goes from the side and just goes back into the back of the helmet and just
Right.
goes underneath the green part, and you don't really see where it goes. I
Yeah.
think, back then, they didn't want to model a hose going to
Mm-hmm.
the back and having it like stretch when you turn your head,
Mm-hmm.
or if you're wearing a different piece of armor, like where, like if you, because you can mix match the armor, obviously.
Right.
So like if you weren't wearing the Ranger gear with the helmet, like where would the hose go? It can't connect to
Mm-hmm.
anything. So I feel like to make the assets easier, like we'll just connect it into its own self so you can match the helmet with whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't have to worry about the hose thing. So I feel like that's partially why it's like that. I feel like it's supposed to connect to it,
Mm-hmm.
but since the game was made so long ago, they didn't have that time or resources to make it
Right. To
properly
model
look
it.
the way it does.
Right.
Because I feel like you look at it, it looks like it has like a hole in the top middle of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I do kind of want to make a almost like a working thing for that. I want to make a new
Mm-hmm.
tank and put some mesh and fans in it to pull in cool air
Right.
and blow it in the helmet because helmet fans work pretty decent, but it's just recycling hot air. I feel like
Right.
it'd be cooler and also kind of functional. So that's on the list of my stuff at some point.
Right. Yeah. Man, that's a great idea. And I know that some of the real world masks, you can even have a drinking tube. There's an adapter
Yep.
that connects to the mask, so you can actually pull it out of your camel bag or canteen or something like that, via tube. So I mean, it only does make sense, that it's got to do with something like that, But like, I mean, what? All those years ago, people weren't really picking it apart as much. I
Right.
guess.
Yeah,
um,
back then it was just like, oh man, this looks cool, or people
right.
kind of made their own head canon. But yeah, I definitely think they would have had. I mean, the Rangers, you'd have to feel like they're the veteran Rangers in the lore. They're most of them are serving for about 20 years or so.
Mm-hmm.
At least the ones at Sequoias, where I don't know about the rest of them. I don't
Mm-hmm.
have the lore memorized that much, but
Right.
you got to figure they probably send them out to go scout out Caesar's Legion or put them up in a sniper nest somewhere. They're probably there for several days. They need
Right.
some way to stay hydrated and still
Consumables.
keep their
Yeah.
head protected. Yeah, so I figure there probably is some kind of I'm not sure how they would do it. I mean, you have that breather on the front.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they'd pull out the oxygen hose and they would just stick something else in there. I
Right.
don't know.
Right. Right. Would
Or maybe they just pull the helmet off. You never see
or
them take
maybe
the helmet
that.
off. You never know.
Right. It's like a Mando thing, kind of a thing. um.
Keep it on unless you have to eat. That's the only time you could take it off.
Right. And you got to be alone and just by yourself. You can't reveal yourself. Um. would- That's actually a good point because, like, in season one of the show, I mean, we see a couple of the Ranger outfits, But I
Right.
don't remember seeing the tanks, the backpack in the back. I drawing
Yeah,
a
you don't
blank
get
if
a
they
really
had
good
it.
shot of it.
Right.
From what I know, I forgot who made them, but I did find the people who actually made the helmets,
Mm-hmm.
and I know a lot of people complain in the show, "Oh, they look so off and everything." I
Mm-hmm.
think it's just the person on set that day wasn't paying attention. Because if you look, um, the helmet is a separate piece from the gas mask.
Mm-hmm.
You can see it in the show, it's, like, slid way down. That's
Right.
why it looks really goofy. You can see the whole top of the forehead, which you normally can't.
Yeah.
And I just don't think they noticed it when they were filming, which happens
Mm-hmm.
all the time. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
in one of the Halloween movies, they strip had an unpainted Michael Myers mask and made it in the movie. No one noticed. I mean, stuff
Right.
happens, you know.
Yeah.
But I think they just it was like a really quick shot too, like 30 seconds. They're wearing the helmet and they
Mm-hmm.
take it off. You know, like you said, it's you don't get to really see them. So,
Right.
but if you look at the page of the people who made the costume, or at least the helmets, it's it's based off the 76 model. It's all
Mm-hmm.
sitting together nice, like the one you can buy in the gear store where it's just
Right.
one
Right.
piece, like it sits all nice. But I
Yeah.
think yeah, in the show they made the mask a separate pieces so the actors could breathe and whatever, and they just didn't snap it in
In
all the
between
way. It just didn't.
shots. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do remember
So
that shot, and I do remember the conversation people were having regarding that. And I don't know. I also like to think that, I mean, like these, because it's the dad and his son. I mean, they're probably not rangers. At least
yeah,
he
I think
isn't
that's
anymore. So they're just
yeah.
using surplus gear,
They don't know exactly how it all fits together. I mean,
right.
you're just like, if you're not a ranger, I'm sure they train you. Hey, you need a this has a this seals in this way. This airtight
Mm-hmm.
locks it in. You need a filter to be rotated this way.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. Yeah, it's like I said, it's a dad and a son. So the dad might have been retired and
Mm-hmm.
just didn't fully train him, or they could have just been two guys who just happened to
Scavenged it.
walk into a camp. Yeah, after Caesar's Legion ran through and you
Mm-hmm.
know just scavenge what they could. It's hard to say. Maybe we'll find more out. We'll see more of the actual Rangers in the next season. I'm hoping
I
if
mean,
they
I'm
went through the
almost
effort,
betting on it.
they have to. I mean, if they went through all the effort to make the costume,
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna make a whole two suits for like 40 seconds in
Mm-hmm.
the show. Um,
I mean, we did get a glimpse of the NCR power armor, so we,
yep.
we got that going on. I mean, there's definitely going to be NCR presence.
I
Um,
can't wait to see. I'm hoping I see a shot of the power armor just leading in a bunch of veteran Rangers behind it. It would look
right?
so cool.
I mean, it's definitely going to be something epic. I know there's speculations that because in the previews or in the trailer, you kind of assume that it's going to be Maximus, fighting the Death Claw. There's people saying that
Yeah,
it's going to be Lucy in the armor, so like those are two separate scenes, two different
it's
shots.
hard. It's hard to say. Maybe Maximus left a Brotherhood and then
Hmm.
went with the NCR. I mean, he's already kind of,
Leaning,
you know, it, yeah. In the first season, he says, I remember exactly how he says the quote. Everyone wants to save the world. They just disagree on
right,
how. So maybe I kind of alludes to him, be like, maybe I'm not.
on the right
He joined the
side.
Brotherhood. Yeah, he joined the Brotherhood because they pretty much saved his life. But he's like, I joined them as kind of like a thank you, but maybe
Hmm.
they're not the best people to kind of be with. It's like
Right, right.
he might, even at the end of the first season too, he's like they're cheering him on, and he's just like,
He
what
doesn't
what's
really
going
want
on?
it.
Like, what did I do? Yeah, he's like, what? Like, what? He's
Now
like
he's a
victory,
knight.
but like at what? Yeah, he's like victory, but like at what cost? He
Yeah,
doesn't really. He's like, I don't know if I'm doing the right thing here. It's like, man,
that's yeah. I mean,
when
it's
he
gonna
let
be so
Moldaver
exciting.
go,
Hmm.
she just let her do her own thing and she bled out or whatever. So
Hmm.
I don't know. A lot of questions.
I mean,
I'm
there's
hoping to get some answers in like the next 3 weeks here when it comes out.
right, right. There's definitely going to be a conflict of some sort, between the different Brotherhood factions, whether it's the East Coast versus the West Coast. I mean, we see multiple, uh, Pridwin class type, the airships or whatever. So there's definitely going to be something going on. I don't know if it's going to be, the big battle at the end or which way they're gonna frame it. I know the promo poster has all three of them walking out of New Vegas. So are they all gonna link up and walk away
I hope
from
so.
a big battle? It could also be a misdirection, but they're definitely walking away from Vegas, where kind of sets the scene for season 3, which has been
Yup.
greenlit. So,
Yup. Walton Goggins confirmed at Goodsprings, which is another
hmm
great surprise. Just a lot of stuff they just kind of dropped on us at Goodsprings. They had the new Pit Boy they announced,
hmm
Jones Rocket Bottles.
oh man,
Arizona's dropped those new teas, those energy drink teas
I
or
just got the
whatever.
variety pack this morning of the
See,
Arizona. So like the box. Let me grab it real quick.
yeah, I didn't know those were coming out. They kind of just, I didn't even know that was even a thing. I'm like, oh, it's a new product.
So I did end up trying one of their teas last year. It was the pomegranate one,
Yeah, I
but
never had the regular tea teas. That was my first time trying any of them. So yeah, when the energy drinks came out, and apparently they I guess they just dropped
yeah,
like maybe that week. So I'm like, I was drinking it. I'm like, it tastes a little weird. I'm
yeah,
like, oh, it's the energy drink. That explains a lot. I'm like, all right, didn't know this was a thing,
right.
but it was good. I tried the orange one. I liked it. It was good.
Nice. So yeah, this is the 6 pack, the variety pack. So all 6 flavors. And if you go on their website, this is not sponsored by Arizona. I got this myself because I wanted it, because they figured it out. They figured out that if you make the box a collectible in and
Look
of its own,
cool. Yeah.
people will buy it. And so on
Oh,
that,
I definitely will too.
yeah, on that, if you buy the singular flavors, the 12 packs, each box is different too.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
like you have a
So
potential.
there's 4 boxes there. There's 3 flavors, right? There's an orange, apple, and pomegranate, and then there's a variety pack, right?
This one, and then because there's 6 cans in total, because like they did
Okay.
the light versions or whatever, so there's six
Oh, I
different
didn't know.
boxes.
Okay. Okay.
hmm so 6 different
Interesting.
boxes, plus this 7th one, that's the smaller one, for
Yeah.
the variety pack. I'm like,
Okay.
that's a lot of money, so I was like, I'm gonna get me the variety pack. It's actually not that bad. I think it's
You can
23
try a little bit of all of
yeah,
them.
yeah,
Yeah. Because if you buy the whole box for one flavor, like, I don't like this. You're just stuck with it.
exactly,
It's like, at least the box is cool, but
yeah, so
you have one empty can out of the box now. You can't sell it
yeah.
complete. So I guess that was cool. We could buy the singles at the event. I wish I would have
hmm
tried the other two.
hmm
Because I didn't know you could buy them in like a cool case like that. I thought it was just
well,
a variety
because
pack, and that's all they were doing with
right,
it.
because last year they released it last year when they had the 3 flavors, but the
Tea,
box,
yeah.
there was a box, but like they came in like in like a
I
flat,
think it was just
and one
like
was a
one thing, right?
limited box, but those were really, I remember a lot of people were complaining about Amazon because they thought they were getting the box, but they only got the flat and it was shrink wrapped or whatever. So the box was
Huh.
really available only for a little bit, and it's like
I
really
now
hit or
know that.
miss. Yeah.
I was gonna order them, but like, man, it was like 20 or 30 bucks.
Mhm.
I've never tried the regular versions of the tea, which I mean,
Mhm.
energy drink versus the tea. I figure they'd probably be a
Mhm.
bit different tasting.
Well,
So I love
also,
it. The regular Arizona teas, the green
yeah,
tea,
and they're also the
and
big cans, right? So I mean, it's
yep.
because again, price wise, it works out to be about what, $4 a can. But one, it's an energy drink, and you get the big can, so it's just like,
I feel like that's better value. 'Cause, I mean, like the regular Arizona tea is like $1 if you go to
oh, it's 99
convenience
cents.
store.
It's
Yeah, most places.
well, it should be, because that's what the CEO wants it to keep at, 99 cents. um,
Yes. So I work at a convenience store, and
mhm,
there's actually two versions of the can. There
mm,
is the 99-cent one, which you legally you have to sell it for that. But
mhm,
then there's an unmarked can
mm.
they make, which Arizona, they said, yeah, I want people to sell it for this, but if it's unmarked, you can sell it for whatever.
Oh, I see.
Other places like to sell it for $1.50, which is kind of
Mhm,
crazy, maybe a little bit more.
mhm.
But regardless, almost everywhere they're $1.
Yeah,
So man, paying like how many came in that case from Amazon? Like 10, 12,
it's a
something like
12
that.
pack. Yeah.
It was $30. I'm like, man, like
Mhm.
that's just I just couldn't justify it. I'm like, what if I don't like them? I'm
Right.
picky with the regular Arizonas. If I don't like these ones, I'm paying more for them.
Yeah.
I pay $1 for regular Arizona. I don't like it. That's whatever. But
That's why I
30
think
bucks.
this was such a good call, because I mean,
Yeah.
it
And they were smart letting us buy them one at a time at Goodsprings. Like,
mhm.
hey, you like this? Go buy the whole case. It was smart.
Mhm.
I'm more inclined to buy the whole case if I get to try one can individually.
Yeah.
I think you can only buy it by the case, right? Do they sell them in singles or no?
I'm not sure. I think it's hit or miss when it comes to like different stores, kind of like with Jones Soda. You might find some flavors, some singles, but yeah, you can either go to their website. I know Amazon has some stock. I don't know how much of the new stock they actually have, but I know there's some coupons that you can utilize on their website too. So I I think this variety pack was like 20 something dollars, you know. So with shipping
Did
it
you get
came.
it online or did you go into a store and buy
Oh
yours?
no, I went to their website.
Okay.
So it ended up being something like I think I want to say like $26 with shipping or whatever, which is,
It's not. It's a little better than the other one, I suppose.
right. I mean, you
Maybe.
get 6 scans, you get one of each, you get the cool box. So
I
that's the
just
way
haven't
I
go to the
look at it.
store.
Yeah, that's the way I look at it. Even with Jones Soda, I mean, 34.99 for a 4 pack, plus shipping. But it's like you're not buying it to drink it, or just
Yeah,
drink it. I mean, you're buying you're buying into the experience. It's a collectible. It just kind of pulls you into the universe more, and
I
that's
do like
how I
that
like to
you
look
can
at
now
it.
buy just a cardboard thing for like
Yeah,
$5, which
yeah.
for me is better because I have found all of them but the sarsaparilla in person so far. It
There you
took me a
go.
little bit, but I have been able to buy like four of each of the bottles. So I
Right.
might just go and buy the cardboard sleeves online now,
Yeah.
and I can basically get it for like
Put it
$10
together.
for the whole thing.
Right.
But it is nice if you can't find it, you can just buy it. It's a little
Yeah.
pricey, but at least it's guaranteed, and they're
Yeah.
shipping glass bottles, which is
Right.
a little bit harder shipping to an individual person versus a store.
Mm-hmm.
They have it set up, on trucks and stuff. They're
Mm-hmm.
specifically like already making their stops there. So I'm
Yeah.
sure shipping cost is a little more because it's liquid and it's fragile.
Mm-hmm.
I understand with that, but yeah, I'm lucky. I've been able to go just to a couple stores, and
Mm-hmm.
when the scalpers persist me, I could get a couple of them.
I
I've
mean,
not been to find sarsaparilla yet. I've been looking hard. I've not seen a single one.
s
Zio gave me one when I
nice.
was at the con, and I got to try it finally.
Right. Right. So the only one that I did find in the wild was the Victory. Uh, it was in the beginning of the year. I want to say like February or whatever. Grocery
I
outlet.
got it pretty late.
Grocery outlet. They had a bunch of Victories. The 4 pack. So it came with the carrier and everything for 3.99
Okay,
a 4 pack. So
that's
I'm
not
like,
bad at all.
I bought one. The next day I went for a couple more, you know, and that was about the only time that I was able to find it. No other store really carried it. I know because it's all the Kroger stores or Kroger owned.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah.
and so I did find another. I'm blanking out on the store name, but it was a Kroger affiliate or whatever. I'm pretty sure it was Quantum, but it was gone. It was just like I mean, it had the price tag and everything, but the entire row was just
Yep.
gone.
My that's been me trying to find the sarsaparilla. Like I go
Mm,
to if you're in the East Coast like I am, if you, or it's selected, but we have a grocery chain here called Meyer,
mm,
spelled at like Meijer.
mm,
They carry Jones Soda, most of them. They don't
mm,
always carry the Fallout ones, but there is one of the two I shop at
mm,
sells them. And one day I saw, I'm like, holy crap, they have I would check it like every few
mm.
weeks I would check it. I've never seen any of the Fallout sodas there.
Yeah,
And then I went one week and they had all the Nuka grapes. I was like, holy crap, there's
nice.
hope. And
That's
then
awesome.
the next day, one of my regulars at work's like, "Oh, dude, I was at Meyer yesterday. They had the sarsaparilla." I hurried over there after work. You just
Gone.
see both of the rows where the grape and the sarsaparilla was at, and they're completely gone. I was
Right.
so pissed. I'm like, I was just here yesterday. There was a whole row of grape, and some scalper came and bought all. Luckily, I had the grape already, so I wasn't that mad about that one.
Mm.
I'm like, you came and bought all of them. Like, these scalpers, man.
I mean, that's
They're
the.
oh
I feel like that's the plight of, you know, either a collector or a content creator because like you find it, you got the news, you got the scoop, you send it out into the world, but then inevitably, like
scalper will see it.
you kind of cause this ripple effect, this chain reaction where a bunch
I
of
keep
people
it
will.
really low key. Yeah,
Right.
like my regular told me from work. He's like, "Hey, by the way, they have it at," because he's a huge Fallout fan too. He's like,
Mm,
"They have it at Meyer." and I only like I'll go to the store and I don't really spread the word because I know there's a bunch of scalpers in my area, and not a lot of Fallout collectors. So I know they're just doing it for the money at this point because
Yeah.
at like my local Comic Cons, I wear my Fallout cosplay. Not many people know what it's from, so I just take it. No one in the area is a Fallout fan,
Mhm.
so I just have a feeling it's just scalpers because even at like Spirit Halloween and
Mhm.
stuff is scalped too. So
That's what I hear. That's what I hear a lot.
it's
Yeah.
just it was I hate me being a fan of Halloween. There's like these Jason Voorhees masks. Could not find a single one.
Mhm.
They're $15 in the store. Looked in eBay, 120 for both. I'm like, nope, not paying that. Not
Yeah.
paying it. I'll just experience the FOMO with that one. But
And it does kind of ruin the fun. I mean, I get the whole allure of hunting it down in the wild. We
it's
just
so much
kind.
more fun.
Yeah, it's just, but like give everybody a chance, like, but
Yeah,
if the chance is
like
not even out there, because it's gone due to these
yeah, like I'll buy a
scalpers.
few. Like I have two coworkers who are fans of Fallout, so when I go, I'll buy six of them. Two for each of us, one
Hmm.
to drink and one to keep.
Hmm.
And these people just buy like 12 or 15 of them. They just take them all themselves and they just sell them. Like really? Like
That's
come
kind of
on.
what happened with the vault pack, the whole Costco deal. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a hell of a deal for $20. You get 12 sodas and three different flavors. I mean,
You get the bottle cap opener, the little bag, and you get the caps. I wish
kick-ass
none
deal.
of them by me sell that, which sucks. I have
Yeah.
a Costco right by my work,
Hmm.
like on my way to work in Michigan, Indiana, and Ohio. Neither of those three are even getting it. So I'm gonna
I,
have to
I
wait till they
believe there was
start selling them or buy them online.
I believe there was only one location in all of Ohio, and it was like the easternmost part, and then that was it. I do remember
That's like a
seeing one on
4 hour
the map.
drive. Not worth it for me. I'll just pay the
Right.
shipping online.
Well, the hope is that Jones is actively trying to get it to the rest of the country because it was
I
actually a
hope.
Costco problem. It was a Costco
Okay.
issue. They didn't think it was going to do good, and so it was a distribution issue or whatever. So Jones wanted it everywhere, but Costco was
Now they
hesitant.
know. Now, so seeing how
Like, come
quickly it
on.
sold out, I think they're like, all right, you got our attention. We'll
Yeah.
start getting the gears turning here.
Yeah. So I mean, hopefully, it's and again, it's the whole thing, right? Like starting from the box to, I mean, you get victory, you get quantum, and no, victory, sarsaparilla, and
Quantum and
and
grape.
grape. There you
All
go.
of the flavors except for the first one, which is the victory.
Right, and then you get the bottle caps, a set of bottle caps and the bottle opener. So it's like it's a nice package for $20. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just it's so much more accessible to people that otherwise wouldn't have gotten it, through
Yeah,
the
like me.
traditional way.
Yeah, like I said, I haven't been able to find sarsaparilla and the
Hmm.
victory. I found the victory like 5 months after it came out. I checked all my stores frequently.
Hmm.
And of all places, I found it like 2 hours away from me at a random Meyer.
Hmm.
I was at a convention that week. I'm like, holy crap! I finally found the victory. It was like 5 months later, but I found it or
Hmm.
whatever, however long. It might have been like 3 or 4, but it felt like forever
Right.
when you're checking for every week.
Yeah.
So I bought
No,
like 4 or 5 of them. So I'm
I'm in
like,
the
I'm never
same
gonna see
boat.
it again.
I'm in the same boat because I have a feeling that that's the California way, where it's just like everybody just clears the shelves, and it doesn't matter what it is. It's a good deal. Everybody needs it. Everybody wants it. It's just gone.
Greed,
I
greed
mean,
ruins a lot of things.
it's just a couple of years ago we made a trip out to New Mexico, and it was just like it was so much different over there. You go to Target and they have everything, and it could be everything from collectibles to like just like fully stocked. It's like people figured out that they don't need hordes of everything, but I guess it comes with the territory, and that's just another
Yep.
layer of issues that we as collectors
Being a
or.
collector, yeah. For most part, it's pretty good here. It's just I've noticed, I guess just the chase items. Like I mean, Pokemon cards, I collect them casually,
Mm-hmm.
very casually. I'll open packs here and there, but
Mm-hmm.
just they've been out at all my stores for the last year or two.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they only, I know Target specifically, some of them sell them like at the customer service counter.
Mm-hmm.
People, they limit people on selling them, which
Right.
is good. But man, it's just like,
Yeah.
I just want to go back to days where I can just walk into a store on the day of release, walk out with it. Like there's an Art the Clown figure from Terrifier too. I've
Mm-hmm.
been looking for. It's a Walmart exclusive.
Mhm.
I haven't seen that yet either. I don't know if my towns are just too small to get them,
Mhm.
or they bought them all because I live by a couple small towns, so it's like they're not gonna carry a lot of niche stuff or get the new stuff right away.
Mhm.
I mean, heck, I was lucky to even go to Target and see all the new Fallout stuff in one go. I found the neon sign like a week later,
Mhm.
but they had all of the stuff, and like as soon as I went there, like they had all of the McFarlane
Mhm.
figures. They had like the Maximus and
Mhm.
T60, the Cooper Howard Chase one, the
Mhm.
Ghoul one. They had all those. So I was really surprised. I just I caught wind of that. And I went in. I'm like, holy crap!
Mhm.
They have like all of it. Like holy shit, they're all here.
Mhm.
Um, but man, I think it's just that was Fallout's still kind of a low key thing, but Jones Soda is a pretty easy collectible, and they were cheap, so I think that
Mhm.
always sells out really quick versus $30 figures. People aren't gonna scalp those as nearly as much,
Right.
but $2 pops or whatever, people are just gonna buy them right up.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's funny you should mention that the whole Target thing cuz like that got me just like way down and I was like it actually at one point it got me so mad that like I just kind of had to, cool off for a little bit. Because like left and right, I'm seeing all these collectibles, like everything you just mentioned, right? Like, so I go to like every single Target in my area and nothing, like literally
Damn.
nothing. Like the most they had was that creepy looking Cooper Howard, that looks nothing like him. Still refused to
I
get it. That's the only thing they
It's
had.
funny. Somebody posted in the marketplace group this morning the same thing. Like I didn't want to buy this creepy statue, but he's on sale, so I guess I'll finally buy it. Just no one likes it. I
It,
thought I was alone. I'm like, he doesn't look quite right.
right, right, and it was like so like. And then I kind of thought about it, it's just it's so silly to feel that way about it. But it's like
About a toy, but it's like, man, it's like
when you're a passionate
something to look forward
collector,
to. Yeah.
like when you kind of make it, your side hustle, or you're really passionate about, making the content, and like you have nothing to work with, it just kind
Even
of
like I
gets
got
you here and there.
improvise
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
yeah.
And
And like
so,
especially me as a cosplayer,
mm,
we get snow here pretty soon. Here it's
mm,
gonna be falling down. I can't really do cosplay content outside,
mm,
which is where I record all my stuff. So I'm kind of
unless you're
gonna lean more
Zio,
towards right. Yeah, he's got.
you
Yeah,
get the
I
winter
guess I could.
gear.
Yeah, he just go right outside. It's ironic that he's only got. It's mostly desert by him. He's got
Right.
the winter,
Yeah.
and I'm or Michigan. I have the regular, but I might have to just get a green screen this winter and just film inside and do more
Hmm.
stuff with that. But besides that, yeah, I think I'm relying more on like collectible content stuff
Hmm.
for the winter. It's like I don't want to be freezing outside for skits because I film
Right.
everything in like one day.
Hmm.
Because I get like I'll set aside one day, I'll film for 2 hours, I'll come in, I'm shivering cold. I'm like, all right, I got content filmed for the next couple of weeks.
Right. Honestly, that's the way to do it. I feel like, but then I feel like most of us get excited and you just want to post it all in one day, so you kind of
I
have
know
to
I get
discipline yourself that way.
very, very disciplined. I'm like, all right, every couple days I'll upload a new video or I'll upload twice a week,
Hmm.
whatever I'm feeling that week. It depends how much I got loaded
Right.
in the chamber.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. But hey, we're gonna take a little break here. If you need to, get yourself a water or whatever, be back in a few. All right, and we're back. And before we went on to the break, we were talking about collecting, and I just want to lead it with, I got the discount code for Onyx running down below For everybody else that's not watching, it's Onyx Save 3 to save 20% at the Bethesda Gear Store. Most of it will get you 20% discount. It doesn't cost you anything, but if you want to support your favorite creator, please, please, please do use that code. It helps us out tremendously, and it doesn't cost you anything, and you get a 20% discount on, like I said, most of the stuff. Some of the pre-orders are locked out, but it is a hefty discount. So Onyx Save 3 to save 20% off. Um, so collecting, I understand you're pretty recent when it comes to the Bethesda collectibles, be
Yep.
it the Ambassador and collectibles in general. Me myself, I probably about a year and a little bit, because all of my collecting prior to becoming an ambassador came from whatever I could, scavenge in the stores. So it was a lot of bobbleheads, from like
Yeah,
99-cent
before
store and stuff like that.
yeah, before the show there wasn't a lot of stuff. I mean, most of the merch is focused around the show that you can buy in a physical store,
Mhm.
which I liked. I love the show, but it's like I want other stuff, which
Mhm.
is pretty much only on the gear store. If you want to buy anything from Fallout 4 New Vegas or
Mhm.
whatever, it's on the gear store. But yeah, if you like stuff from the show, you can pretty much go to Target.
Mhm.
I haven't really seen any besides GameStop and Target. I haven't really seen anybody else sell them. Like even Walmart has like a collector's corner. I haven't seen like any Fallout stuff there like at all. But I keep my eyes open just in
Right.
case.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty new to the collecting stuff too. I subscribed to the Fallout crate a couple times a few years ago
Mhm.
when I like first played Fallout 4.
Mhm.
So I have a few things from that. I didn't really start buying stuff until about this year when I got the I've got the quantum little bottle, the light up one. I have the
Mhm.
glass one, the glass victory bottle, the quantum cap sash, the Pit Boy from the show.
Mhm.
I think that's actually all I got so far. And I have one bobblehead. Everything else is all props I made myself. So
Right.
still
Yeah.
growing it. And a couple figures I just got from McFarlane. But besides that, it's pretty small. Like one small shelf fits all my stuff.
Right on. Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing. Like you have to have somewhere to put it. That's another huge problem of collecting because the
Buy it now and figure out where it goes later.
yeah.
I'm getting more in the mindset at first, like, okay, I don't have room for this. Like
Mhm.
that's why I haven't bought like the Arizona stuff yet. It's like I
Mhm.
want to feel like I want to keep it in the box.
Right.
No, I got nowhere to put. Even if I took the cans out, I got nowhere to put them. Like my shelf is
Mhm.
my whole stuff's crammed into my gaming shelf. With like it's just kind of sitting in front of all my video games are
Right.
in the shelf. It's like what little bit
Mhm.
of space that's on the edge. I just shove it all in the front, pretty much.
Right on. I mean that was me for the longest time. I took advantage of all the crazy sales and whatnot and deals, and for the longest time all of that lived inside boxes they came in. And until recently, where I actually got to score one of the IKEA glass display cases, from a fellow creator, and she was offering it for free, and it was only in a couple towns over, so I zipped over there, and that's basically where all of the Nuka Cola stuff lives. Everything else I just kind of had to shuffle around, on the shelf that I have right here above me. But it's there's still stuff that needs to be displayed, needs to be reorganized, and I have zero real estate on my walls. So when it comes to prints or uh, any posters, anything like that, it has nowhere to go. And for the
Same. I got the one poster of Hacksaw hanging up, and I have
nice,
the I remember Five Below sometimes sells Fallout stuff. I got the
mm-hmm.
Perks poster from Fallout 4 there,
Still rolled
and the
up
Nuka
right over
Girl
here.
poster. Yep, same. Mine are still roll up in my closet. I with like 4 or 5 other posters. I just don't have room for. Like
Right.
I have my walls. I have like little bits here and there. I can maybe put like a shadow box here
Mm-hmm.
and there,
Mm-hmm.
but I got this big spot on my wall that has a tapestry on it. I could probably take down. But
Right.
yeah, my
Yeah.
just the way my walls in this room are laid out, I don't have a lot of
A
space
lot of wiggle room.
either.
Yeah. I mean I feel like. the first poster that I ever put up ever since I was a teenager was the Nuka Cola poster. I put it on my door. But like my door used to have like a clothes hanger on it, so I had to take all of that down and put it somewhere else. And
And
so
find a spot for that. It's
yeah.
always a finding spot for something. You gotta move
Mhm.
something, find a spot for something else.
So I ended up putting her up there along with the Death Claw sign and the New Vegas tin sign. And so that's my only wall art that I actually, put up on well, a door, not a wall, but it it just felt
It's
so
something.
weird, putting up an actual poster. Like I said, probably for the first time ever since I was a teenager.
I've got a couple I have in frames. My old place, I had a lot more room because like there was like a lot of flat walls and like the living room and the dining room or whatever, the kitchen, whatever you want to call it, was like
Mhm.
combined.
Mhm.
So it's just kind of like one long flat wall, so I could put a bunch of stuff.
Oh,
Like
right
I
on.
got some stuff in this room. Like I have a Mortal Kombat poster from the first movie that came out in theaters. I snagged. I've got so the one of Hacksaw. I got a couple other small things that fit in the little bits I have. But yeah, I got like a bunch of posters
Mhm.
that are all just still in the frames for when I move because I just don't know where to put them. But at least they're protected for when I have,
Right. For
if I
sure.
get in a bigger place, I have more room or whatever. But for
Yeah.
now, they just stay in their frames on the floor somewhere.
Right. I mean, yeah, I go back and forth. I play around with the idea that I'm gonna like start taking over the living room or whatever, but it's just like I spend most of my time here in this room, so I wouldn't even be able to look at it or whatever. I kind of
Yeah.
like to, have it, all in one place.
And
So,
once behind you, it makes a better backdrop anyway. If you're recording in this room,
right,
like you got two
that's why I
flags
put up the
behind you.
flags. Yeah. So, well, yeah, it creates a good backdrop, and it also hides all the crap behind that. So,
I've luckily in my corner of my desk of that I just have my bed behind me, which is whatever. But
mm,
luckily I'll have my craft room is clutter in a separate room that you can't see off camera. It is an
mm,
absolute mess. So
I mean,
try to not let
it
anyone see that.
it is a craft room, which it's a good segue into something you mentioned earlier about prop making and whatnot. I mean, you crafted your own armor. You mentioned that you built a lot of props yourself. Um, what kind of gave you that first kick that that's something that you wanted to dive into?
So I don't know exactly. I want to say it's when I was playing Destiny 1 in high school
Hmm.
and I came across I think I randomly just saw a post about them on Facebook, this channel called Punish Props.
Oh,
And they
right on.
had a free template to make a hunter knife from Destiny. Like, hey, I want to get in a cosplay. This would be a really cool first project. And albeit mine didn't look nearly as good as theirs, but I also didn't use the same type of foam. I kind of just,
Mm-hmm.
made it have a lot thinner stuff. But I did that. I did their hand cannon. I made a couple other small things from Destiny. And then after that, I just kind of made stuff that just like looked cool. Like I made the first big thing I made was a Buster was Cloud's Buster Sword from
Mm-hmm.
Final Fantasy VII, which
Right on.
doesn't look. I looked back at picture of it, I'm like, oh, I need to remake that. It's like that was like 10, 11 years ago. I think it's
Uh-huh.
time to revisit a couple of those and to see how far I came.
Right.
But
Yeah. I mean, it comes with it, right? Like you see the evolution of your skills, and you also, I mean, the materials get better. The
oh yeah,
whether it's paints, whether it's 3D printers or foam or whatever. I mean, it's constantly just evolving. So it's always nice to revisit.
yeah,
Your
and I try to like evolve with it if I can. Like every time I start a new project or if I make a whole costume, I try to learn at least one new skill
hmm
every costume I make. Like obviously, foam building was the very first thing I had to learn,
hmm
and then with my Halo suit I built last year, I learned that's the first time I really worked with context cement on a
hmm
full project. So everything was held together with context cement, almost all of it. I think I did the chest out of hot glue, and
hmm
then I think I learned context cement for the rest of it because I needed really clean seams on it. It's
right.
like the best way to do it. And then I actually learned 3D printing too. I got my printer, a little kind of after, and I
Mm,
printed the pistol for that, the Magnum. That was my
nice.
first time finishing a I guess a prop because I had a Mandalorian helmet I finished, but that's pretty straightforward. It's the Mandalorian helmet's really simple, but
Mm,
I guess that's the first time I've actually had to do something more intricate 3D printing.
right. Right.
With my new version of my Ranger, I did a little bit of wiring with it, nothing too crazy. And next I want to do is leather working. I want to make a Sequoia and do an actual leather holster. Cause
Mm,
the one I made out of foam is taken a couple beatings. It's falling apart. I've had to re-glue it like 7 times. I need
uh-huh.
it for the sturdiness. So
Right.
I try to learn something new every time. I try to find the new techniques people are using. And
Mm,
if I find something out really cool myself, or if I find it from a creator, I try to push it like, hey, here's a cool new paint, or here's a cool new
right.
material. If you're having this problem with making this like I did, this could be used for that, or even just stuff in general. Here's a great new,
Right.
here's a tutorial I found that's really niche, but really useful, or whatever it is. I try to share the information.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I hate gatekeeping. It's just it's one thing to gather the information and the knowledge, and it's a whole another thing to actually put it to use. So it's just like I always like to provide other people if they desire, with the necessary knowledge and the um and the information because they have to develop the skills themselves. But
Right.
I mean, I always like talking shop. It's just opening up that dialogue with either beginners or fellow prop makers, seasoned prop makers, or other professionals or whatever. It just creates an opportunity to like get to know their process, get to know the person or whatever. It's just awesome to you know talk about stuff like that. You learn something new, they learn something new. I feel like gatekeeping is just doing the whole industry a major disservice. You trying to hold on to something to make you feel like you hold the key to something
Right.
unique or whatever. It's just not the way to go in my opinion. And
Yeah, I because we've all been there. We've all been like,
mhm,
oh man, like frustrated on a project. Like I
mhm,
don't understand how to fix this. And
mhm.
I think sometimes it's nice to keep a couple secrets up your sleeve and then
Sure.
reveal them later on to keep people guessing. I,
Right.
I like to do that sometimes. I like to tease a little bit, like, oh, it's my secret, but then like a year later, like, okay, here's how I did it.
Mhm.
Now that I kept you guys guessing long enough, because I like to kind of see some. I kind of do it sometimes too to see if people can recreate it
Mhm.
and see if they can figure out themselves. Because sometimes people will do it a wholly totally different way. That's actually sometimes better.
Right.
And you're like, wow, like you went way beyond what I did. Like I just did this super simple little,
Mhm.
whatever, and you just took it and went further. Like yours is actually better than mine now because you took that like it. Because sometimes you need that little push sometimes
Yep.
to really like every time I think about that, like when I have to completely figure something out myself, I think of Tony Stark in the cave with a box of scraps. I think of
Mhm.
that all the time.
Right. That's a
It's like
good
he like
that's a good
literally
one.
had to build it from nothing, and sometimes you do need that little push. But if I had the information readily available, I will share as much as I can. But
Yeah.
sometimes I'll keep a secret or two for a little bit at least.
Yeah, and again, it sparks up the conversation, right? And if you do have a presence online, I mean, engagement is a thing, So it's just kind of
Yeah.
you want to strategize and kind of keep it flowing. But I suppose I understand when the person is trying to sell something or is trying to make a living,
Right.
but
Yep.
it's always kind of tricky to keep that balance to the point where it doesn't feel like, well, you got to buy this, otherwise I'm not telling you shit. It's like,
Right. I get it to like a degree, especially if it's something like really innovative no one else has done. I get it, but like also, kind of like I said, like I'll keep it a secret for a little while, but
mm-hmm,
then at some point I will tell people like, okay, here's
mm-hmm,
how I did it. Like I can't think of anything specific, but I know there's been some creators out there who would just post something really cool and they would just refuse to share it,
mm-hmm.
or especially if it's like not even your own idea, it's like you didn't come up with that.
Yeah,
Just tell
that's a
us.
big
It's like
one.
you're
Yeah,
stealing someone else's idea and you're trying to market it.
right.
I've
And
seen a couple people do that too. It's like you just tweaked it and you're just trying to gatekeep it.
yeah, and that's like that's the way I look at it. You know, I mean, yeah, you might have a certain skill set, I might have a certain skill set, but at the end of the day, it's just an amalgamation, you know, of skills that you've developed, acquired, or somebody straight out told you, you know, and then so it's a set of things that it's a you know, nothing is 100% yours, you
It's a
know, and
melting pot for sure.
it sure is. It sure is. And it's like I've because in the past I was really into rock climbing, right? I mean, I still like to do that, but I had this idea where I could just kind of, you know, make the holds myself, and did start to do that. But really quickly, I got into multiple conversations where people were kind of trying to coin or sort of patent their shapes or whatever, which I understand if you're literally carving, you know, out of the foam or whatever you were making the masters, but it got to the point where it was incredibly clubhousey to where they were trying to claim like, you know, a sphere is their object because they were making, you know, a sphere with an eyelet, you know, to kind of like create these training aids and everything. But I'm like, nobody owns a sphere. That's a basic
Yeah,
shape,
no.
you know. So it's just like it's
Just put
a
a hole in it.
yeah. It just started to kind of veer into that territory where I was just like, I don't want to be a part of it. And like I see glimpses of that sometimes, you know, in prop making circles, but
It's very rare, but
it is.
occasionally, yeah, it does come up.
Yeah, so I've been lucky to not really come across, you know, anybody that's just, you know, in my face because of something or is trying to claim something or is like downright nasty, you know. Um, I mean, like you
Yeah,
said in the beginning, like this community has been super great. You know, I mean,
oh
you have the
yeah.
loud talkers, you know, online, but I haven't met anybody like that in person yet.
No, I honestly at Goodsprings is all really good people. I
Hmm.
didn't have any negative interaction with anybody, which is really nice.
Yeah, it's,
But kind of back
it's
to
good to hear.
what you were saying about the learning from everybody, I can definitely attest to that because I have pulled techniques from several
Hmm.
creators. Like I'll like even if I'm not working on something, I'm always watching someone make something.
Hmm.
Like Adam Savage from Tested, I've learned so much from him.
Oh
He, like
gosh.
he does cosplay and props, but he also does other stuff. And I'll see a glue or a tool,
Hmm.
and I will add it to my collection, or I'll see something that Punish Props does, or
Hmm.
SKS Props, or
Hmm.
Ashen Warrior, like the big four I always watch. And I take techniques from all of their stuff and I kind of put it into my own stuff with stuff I learned. I throw it all again
Hmm.
and do like a melting pot or like a soup or whatever. Just
Right.
kind of pass it on, like, hey, I took this person's technique and I improved on it. And this is how it worked for me. Or if you're trying to use, this or that, whatever. It's
Which is
um,
what you have to do. That's how innovation works, right? Like, I mean,
yep.
you're always trying new things that are built on an older foundation, and you find out what works, what doesn't, and that's the fun of it, you know. Like you said, you know, Adam Savage. I mean, I can't tell you how much money I spent because of that guy, you know, because I saw a,
So
a,
many tools.
a tool that he showcased on his channel, or it could have been a freaking pen or a
I bought
pencil,
I
but
bought this very specific tool. It's only for this one thing, but if
yeah,
you do this one thing a lot, it'll save you a lot of time. It's worth
yep,
it. And it's like,
yep,
well, he's right. Like even working on my car, I bought one tool to do one specific
oh
thing.
yeah,
It's one specific thing you're doing a lot, or if it can save you a couple hours of time.
mm-hmm,
Your time is worth more than anything, to be honest. If you can save yourself, you cut off 2 hours of time every time you work on a specific thing.
mm-hmm,
Like you find a really good way to sand 3D prints. If you can
mm-hmm.
knock 2 hours off every print, that will save you so much time in the long run. Like time's something you can't get
Oh,
back. So if you can save time, spend a little bit of money to get yourself there, it's
mm-hmm.
always worth it.
Absolutely, and it's funny you should mention that sanding in particular because working on that on that helmet, I just because I was like, I know that that's going to require a lot of sanding because you know I don't want to see no print lines or anything like that, but just
Yep.
like to get a specific finish, like it had to be you know pretty darn smooth. And so I'm
Then you
like,
have to add texture on top of it, which you got a really cool texture on your
right.
helmet. I love that.
Thank you so much. I love how that turned out. Like the minute I saw it, the first lay down, I was like, okay, yeah, that's it. That's gonna work.
Oh yeah, I'm out of something. This is it.
Yep. So I had a vision. I remember you and I were talking about it prior to me doing it, but that specific texture, and I was like, I'm
Came out
really,
really good.
yeah, I'm
That
really
bubbled
hoping.
like rust
Yep.
kind of texture. It looked really good.
Yeah. And so I'm super glad that it turned out that way. But it was like, you know, I wasn't gonna hand sand all of it. I do have a couple sanders, but most of them too big. One of them really underpowered because it's like for really fine work. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna go pneumatic, right? So basically just a sander with different size buffing wheels, and it's just like Velcro, sanding pads. Holy crap! Like did that save like you said hours of time just sanding, because like I mean, what would have taken me, a couple hours, took me maybe half an hour, and it was like,
Yeah, I need to get something like that. That's why I haven't done much 3D printed stuff because I
mm,
either filler primer or I hand sand. Like this
mm-hmm.
takes for like forever.
And the thing with that is because a lot of people 3D print with PLA, I stay away from it because you can't really sand it, right?
No, that's what I print with, and you and I talked that a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I need to start printing in a different material
Mm-hmm.
because luckily I've gone through all my PLA. I think I have like one more roll of it, so I'm
Nice.
gonna I guess use that as like test print stuff. But
Right.
yeah, it sucks to sand it, and I think that's what my main problem was. No one really told me that. They're kind of
Mm-hmm.
like, oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
buy this printer and print this in film. Like, why am I still sanding this? It came
Yeah.
out super smooth. Why am I still sanding it 4 hours
Right.
later?
Yeah. And
You
I
know, it
mean, that's
sucks.
why I went with PETG because like that's the best of both worlds. Like it's the uh, it prints relatively easy like PLA, but it's durable as ABS, but you don't require an enclosure like ABS does. And
Yeah, all the fumes and stuff.
yeah, and you can sand it. It withstand temperature a whole lot more than PLA, and you can sand it as is, and then obviously you prime it afterwards. But the problem with PLA is that you sand the primer, and so you want to fill in the gaps, and then you sand the primer. You don't really sand the plastic because it starts to melt,
Yeah.
starts to mess up
Yeah,
the
I've ran into that a
surface.
couple times. Printing my Ranger Sequoia, I printed
Hmm.
it two different times. I did the filler primer on the first one, which with the Sequoia, if you have anything with a bunch of fine details in it,
Hmm.
it just fills it in. I'm like, okay, this isn't working. So I
Hmm.
tried taking a file afterwards and chiseling it out, and it just did not look good. I'm like, all right, we're
Hmm.
gonna scrap that. And I tried again hand sanding it. I'm like, this still sucks. I'm like, I'm 6 hours in,
Yeah.
and now I don't have a single part done yet. I've been like just doing a little bit in different parts, and I'm like,
Hmm.
man. So I was thinking I was doing something wrong. I think I'm just using obviously the wrong filament. I need to switch it up to something else.
Right.
Apparently,
Yeah. And it's again, it's nothing's perfect, because PTG, the main issue I'd say with that is it because it has to be heated up to a lot higher temperature. We're talking like 240 degrees Celsius, which makes it a lot more runny. So then you have a lot of stringing.
right?
You can minimize that, in your settings or whatever. But it's like for someone like me who sands everything afterwards, I couldn't
Doesn't
care
really
less
matter.
about stringing or anything like that because like
Yeah,
everything.
stringing comes off pretty easy anyway.
Yeah, yeah. You can either burn it off or just straight out, sand it off. But it's like the finish I'm after, like no 3D printer is gonna provide me with, and
No,
so you always have to sand. And so 3D printing is just a stepping stone for me. I don't leave anything as is, and
yeah, I'm a firm believer in if you're letting the machine do the work, you can put the elbow grease in to do
mm,
the rest of it. You know,
mm,
like I definitely when I did my Halo Magnum, I did filler primers like the first couple layers, but then I definitely went in and I wet sanded it a lot too. I
mm,
probably spent a few hours sanding it, make sure I could. There's a couple spots I missed on it,
mm.
but the way it angles on it, it kind of looks like machined metal. So it
Right.
worked out in that one specific instance.
Hmm.
But anything else, yeah, you don't want print lines because they're very obvious if you
Yeah.
see them.
Yeah.
It takes away the immersion. It's like metal or whatever.
Right, right. That's a great point too, because over the years, I kind of try to think about like what it is that I'm doing and the finish that I'm after, and sometimes again to save a lot of time, if the surface is going to be covered up by a totally different medium or texture or whatever, then obviously you don't really have to sand it. Like the parts on my helmet where it's really prominent that the bubbly and the bumpy texture is there. I didn't really bother to sand it all that much. I did end up
You're
kind
adding
of
more on
doing
top
that.
of it, yeah.
Right. I did kind of end up doing that in the end because I made the entire helmet shiny, right? Like
Yeah.
shiny metal. Because like I still wasn't quite sure because I really liked it shiny. I almost left it that way, and I was just
It's
gonna
really hard to dirty something. It's like, oh, it looks so
right.
good. I don't want to beat this
Right,
up.
because I only exposed like maybe 5% of the shiny metal, but it's just like I'm kind of glad that I ultimately did go that route because the chips that I did wind up having on there are just like really out there, and so like when the sun hits it
Yeah, it
just
stands
right,
it out
it's
more.
right.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, like when you have, I think the top part is red and like the
mhm,
face mask is white, right?
mhm,
The face mask is more smooth and the red's got all the
mhm,
texture, if I
yep,
remember right.
yep,
And you got those little silver gunmetal chips, and like you said, it really
mhm,
when the light hits it just right, it really stands out. And
yeah,
I had a Mandalorian helmet. I kind of did the same thing. Where
mhm,
Mandalorian helmets are usually smooth anyway, but I
mhm,
did a couple layers of paint, and I did the latex method or whatever. I had the silver and
mhm,
gunmetal underneath it, so the rest of it is kind of like a flat. So when the sun hits it just right, you get that nice sheer
yeah,
shimmer off it. And it looks pretty sweet.
yeah, yeah. That was definitely
Especially
a
for doing
project.
video, it stands out more.
Yeah.
It rotates in the light.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that project was definitely a project of textures because I went in, thinking, okay, like I had the major outline of it, like I wanted a specific texture on most of it, but then I was like, okay, the mask is not gonna look good if it has the same texture, so let's make that
Gotta
smooth.
stand it out. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
and then with rust, and like overall grime and flat versus shiny. Then I ended up putting like a metal mesh into the nose vents, over here. So it's just like there's a whole bunch of stuff
A bunch
that
of different textures.
yeah,
It
yeah.
makes it really interesting to look at, and I try to do that too.
Mhm.
Like with my Ranger, I mean,
Mhm.
you got the grainy Vietnam World War
Mhm.
II helmet texture paint. I don't know what it's actually called, but it's got that sandy texture
Mhm.
on it. And you got the smooth metallic on the gas mask part. Kind of, I guess,
Mhm.
similar to how yours is. It's smooth
Right.
on the front. And then you got I got the metal the brass sarsaparilla star, and you got the
Mhm.
leather straps. I have canvas straps on it.
Mhm.
Uh, the the um, the canvas jacket, and you got the foam that's textured to look like pitted,
Right.
rusted metal, and then you got the leather gloves. Like it's like I
Mhm.
love when you bring a bunch of textures into
Yeah.
one thing. And then my helmet even has a little bit of mesh in it too. It's pretty subtle, but
Mhm.
I love when there's just a bunch of textures. It really just
It
makes
brings it
something
out.
interesting to look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can just stare at it for like 40 minutes and you
Mhm.
just keep zooming in. You just keep noticing more stuff with it. It's, oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
But once all one texture, it all kind of blends together, and you kind of just glance over like, all right, that's cool.
Yeah.
Then you
Yeah.
kind of just go on to the next thing, But we
Definitely.
make it really interesting to look at. It's almost like an art piece. You just
For
keep
sure.
staring at it and you just keep finding new stuff in it.
Right. Yeah, and every time you can actually use, different materials, like leather or metal mesh or what, because, sometimes, because 3D printers, especially the resin ones, I mean, they've gotten, so good that it can print really tiny details. So,
Yeah,
but
they excel
still,
at that for sure.
yeah. But if you still, because sometimes like that mask could have been printed with all those details already in, like mesh details and stuff like that. But no matter how well you painted, I still don't think that you can recreate, the look where you basically, uh, build it from scratch or from
Right,
real
yeah, because
materials.
it's got more depth to it. I mean,
Mhm.
sometimes you can cut the pieces out, or you
Mhm.
can print it separately, and like a piece of mesh. You want
Mhm.
it to be a little bit bigger, so you glue it underneath. It's
Mhm.
got more to grab onto. So even if you cut stuff out, where you print, it's like it also depends on the material too. Like mesh, I mean, over time, whether you do it intentionally or not, the paint or whatever it's on, it's gonna
Mhm.
stain away. You're gonna see the
Mhm.
bare metal, and you can sometimes layer stuff on to 3D print, so you can print on like a chrome paint underneath,
Right.
and then you can paint over top of it. And sometimes naturally, after a while, it'll scrape weights that chrome paint.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes it's just easier to use actual metal
Right.
and just sand away a little bit. And it's like, it takes 2 seconds versus an hour of prep time and
Mm-hmm.
different paints and whatever. It feels more authentic too. There's just
Yeah.
some detail you can't get with a printer, which is why I like to do a lot of mixed mediums.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Which, again, I mean, I understand. Sometimes, it saves sometimes a lot of time, and if you're in a crunch, which is freaking always, right before
Almost
an event.
always.
But as time goes by, I feel like we all start somewhere, but then you just kind of you start packing on the skills, and you try out new methods, new techniques, new materials, new stuff, and you're just bound to get better if that's something
Yeah.
that truly defines you. You I feel like any prop maker never really stays stagnant like that.
No, and like I said, I try to learn something new with everything I make. Like when I keep saying I'm gonna finish it this year, but my Mandalorian suit I've shelved for a while. I got a couple pieces of that done, just never touched it since.
Right.
But I'm with that. I'm gonna learn. I like to learn more electronics with that leather working, and I like to learn how to sew because that also has
Mm,
different mediums on it. It's got the plastic armor. It's got you got lights and screens in the gauntlets. You
mm-hmm.
got the fabric undersuit. You
Right.
have the leather pouches. Whatever it is. It's
Yeah.
like if you want to
Layers
make it as authentic as you can, you have to be willing to learn and and fail a little bit, which
for sure.
I I, I think I speak for a lot of people. Failing sucks, but sometimes you have to fail
Well, it's
a couple times
necessary.
before you get
Yeah.
it done. It's crap as shitty as it is. You don't want to fail, but you have to fail to get to that point. You can only get lucky and get it first try a couple of times.
Right. Well, and also because you learn what works, what doesn't work, and stuff like just I mean, going back to the helmet. I mean, it was few days before Goodsprings, and I was working
Yeah,
on the
you're
visor.
crunching that.
I
I'm like,
was
man,
work.
he's cut it close.
I mean, everything worked as it should have, so it was mainly a question of cure time and drying time, but it was down to the visor, and I'm like, so essentially, my plan A was basically clear medical visor, right? I cut out the shape and everything and tint it. So I got a red reflective tint foil. It worked until I bent it, and then it started getting creases in it, bubbles and everything,
Yep.
because the plastic was just way too thick. The visor was way too thick. And so I was like, okay, plan B was to get a specific chrome paint where you basically oh no, it was to dye it in a with a synthetic dye, just like you do clothes and whatnot. And then on the back of it, you spray it with special mirror paint, just a dusting
Yeah.
of it, to give it
Yep.
that reflection, but you can still see through it. I was like, okay, let's go with that. Went to Michael's, got a whole bottle of dye, dumped it into the pot. Threw it in there for like the first 15 minutes or whatever. No tint whatsoever. Like I think I just got the type of plastic that doesn't take the dye or whatever, because there is a specific
It is
type where
picky
it's just
sometimes.
like it
Yeah.
doesn't take it. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna throw it in there because like I could see like a little tinge, but I'm like, okay, half an hour it is. I set it down in there, up the temperature. After half an hour or whatever, I take it out and it's completely mangled up, right? Like just
Ooh,
so
yeah.
like
You gotta watch
soft.
the temperature too, because
Yeah.
plastic likes to melt really easy.
And I was like, okay, so like it's pliable and everything while it's in there, but the minute you take it out, it just solidifies hard, right? And it got all like weirdly cloudy and whatnot. And I'm like, at that point, I was like, I'm not gonna get mad, because like uh, stuff had just been happening that day, or the past couple of days, and it was just like everything was getting to me, and I was like, I'm not gonna get
I
mad.
feel that, man. When I broke that Sequoia right before,
Oh,
I
I
waited a long
know.
time to get it,
I felt
and I
that.
dropped it, and I just stared at it. I'm like, this isn't even painted yet, and I just dropped it on
Yep,
the floor.
I
I'm not.
felt that.
I fly out tomorrow. There's no time to finish this. I'm gonna have to just roll with what I got.
Yeah, and
So yeah, I've
so
definitely.
and so I was like, oh, okay, scrap that. And then I remembered that I actually have the colored gels that you use in like Parkan lights, studio lights. I have all sorts of different colors. And so sure enough, I had a couple of red sheets or whatever. And I'm like, well, I wonder if, this is way thinner, but pretty firm, firm kind of foil. What if I tint that? So I actually ended up, using the gel sheet with the tint. Now it's all a lot more pliable, no bubbles or whatsoever. I'm like, great. And so like I put that in there, glued it on the inside. Everything worked just right. I'm like, wow. But this was like a whole day spent, just trying to figure it
Yeah,
out. And it was like it wasn't until the third attempt, of totally doing different things where it actually ended up working out. So yeah, it
visors are so tricky. It definitely
they
took me
are.
a few tries. Like like I have the red mirror tint on my Ranger helmet.
Hmm.
I can see fine, but as soon as I turn the lights off, I cannot see a single thing out of it because
Right.
it's just the way it looks in the game.
Hmm.
You have the reflective tint. When the helmet's off, when it's
Hmm.
on, it's just straight red.
Right.
Well, to make that work in real life, I have to have the tint in the front and the light behind it.
Hmm.
If you have the light in front of the tint, you're not going to see the mirror. It's just
Right.
be clear or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta figure out how to be able to see out of it still. Because when I have my helmet on, I'm just like looking their way, like Nick, we're over here. I gotta like turn this way. I can't
Hmm.
see it. It's just straight red in my face.
Yeah. I feel like it has to be like a really
There's a good balance you got to figure out.
kind of because they have those LED I guess ropes, but like really tiny, just like millimeters or whatever. And so
Yeah,
like
the EL wire or whatever.
yeah, and so
They're
maybe
not
like
quite
line
bright
the
enough for
edge of it,
on.
line the outside edge of it, and tone it real low, with like a voltage limiter or whatever, step it down. So at night it would get that glow, but you could still see through it. I don't know. Maybe it's
I'm
just
thinking about
a
it.
theory.
I might be thinking of something different. I'm thinking of EL wire, where it's like a literal like
Mm-hmm.
cable that lights up.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't really tried it. I feel like it'll give it a subtle glow,
Mm-hmm.
but if you want the super bright like it is in the game,
Right.
and before my old helmet, which was like a resin one I just bought off Amazon really quick, so I needed it fast. It
Mm-hmm.
was I just made these like little these like eye shapes out of foam,
Mm-hmm.
and I took an LED light strip that just had a sticky back on it. And I
Mm-hmm.
just glued it in. I just had it like this, so the lights are all pointing inwards like that.
Right.
And I could see out of that, but the light wasn't even. So it's kind of like I can see, but doesn't give me the look I'm going for. So it's kind
Yeah.
of I'm trying to find that balance. So maybe if I can find a way to do that again, and I can diffuse the light better and make
Mm-hmm.
it spread the light out, that might be the way to go. I might have to do that.
Right. Well, it kind of makes me
I don't
wonder
know.
because Cam just got the Ranger helmet, from Bethesda, and I know that one lights up green, but you
Yeah,
can also see his eyes. But I wonder what the visibility out of that one is.
so from I've seen, it's kind of like how my old setup was, where there's just I've seen pictures of the inside. It's just a couple little lights
And
in the
pointed at it.
corners of the lens, where
Hmm.
mine was a full LED strip that went all the way
Mm.
around, so it was a lot brighter, which I still couldn't really see out of it, but it's better than what I have now. I can at least see like this much out of the middle
Hmm.
of it. The new one is just nothing.
Right.
I've seen some pictures. It's like four lights in the
Yeah.
corners of the
Yeah.
lens. So like it lights up enough for like a picture, or if it's cool on your shelf in like the dark.
Hmm.
But if you're like wearing it at a convention, like in the middle of the day, you're not gonna see it like at all.
Right. Yeah. Definitely not.
Again, it's just that balance. It's like, man, at this point, it looks so cool, but at this point, I think I'm just gonna maybe just Photoshop it in later. I don't know, so I can at least see.
Right.
It's
And I
hard.
mean, honestly, it's just this was kind of the number one reason why I even made that combat armor because I wanted to know how this is gonna do in real life. Because like there's three versions of it. I mean, you have the light, the sturdy, and the heavy, right? I mean, the heavy one you're just encapsulated in all this armor and like there's no clipping, in real life. So I
Yeah, so you're
wondered,
just smacking your
yeah,
armpit, right? Like you can't even reach across. Like your arms are probably like this.
yeah. So I was wondering, how far, can I take it before I start to get really immobile or whatnot. I actually did make one of those heavy armor pauldrons that go across the shoulder. I just and I did bring it with me to Goodsprings. It's just the attachment that I had on there didn't really work quite right with it because I didn't have it fully buckled up on me when I was doing it, so it was just kind of like drooping way lower than it should be. So I need to adjust that. But those are actually pretty good because they have quite the range of motion, and it's not really limiting you in that way. But it's like I probably couldn't put on the knee pads, because they would be kind of clashing with the thigh armor on the edges and the shins. I did make a pair of elbow pads, but I didn't finish those in time. But it's like, because then the chest piece, in terms of the heavy armor, that it has like this additional shell, right? And it has like this turtle back deal going on, and
Yeah.
like, wow, like I think that would be like way too much. So I kind of took, just little bits and pieces of the heavy armor and like threw it on there, which I mean,
Yeah.
it kind of
Some parts
goes.
going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what
You gotta find the
works.
happy medium. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this looks cool, but
Mm-hmm.
and I had to kind of figure out a lot of that too with my Halo armor because the ODSC armor, it's different in a couple of games with the Halo 3 one. I mean, I don't know if you've
Mm-hmm.
seen it, but it's like literally you have the shoulder piece
Mm-hmm.
goes from here almost to your elbow, and then you have the gauntlet piece on
Right.
that covers the whole forearm. So your whole arm's covered, and then you have the shin pieces. You
Mm-hmm.
have boot armor, then you have the shin piece, and then the knee is like if you look in the game, the knee piece is physically touching the top of the shin,
Right.
and it's also physically touching the bottom of the thigh piece. Like my
Right.
movement and my leg is
Yeah.
like this. Like I can move my legs enough to walk upstairs,
Mm-hmm.
and if I'm really careful, I can sit down in it. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's one of the only cosplays I've done where I'm in like a whole suit of armor. It'd probably be the same mobility
Yeah.
as the heavy combat armor because it's
Mm-hmm.
like it's meant to protect you, not to be moved around. You're almost walking like you're
Yeah.
back the first Iron Man suit. It's almost like you're walking in that almost like you can't really
Yeah.
move around much.
You're just a heavy.
Yeah, like I said, there's no clipping in real life. So in the game, even in Halo, you can see the pieces clipping through the
Yeah.
arm piece.
Right.
It's like, well, sometimes you have to shrink pieces down a little bit. You have to sacrifice accuracy for mobility because
Mm-hmm.
they're not made to be put on a person. In the game, some newer games are good about it. They'll, with cosplayers in mind, they'll make stuff with that in mind.
Right.
But
Right.
older stuff, they obviously didn't care. Cosplay wasn't nearly as big as it was in these
Right.
older games.
That
Now
is
they're just
true.
looking for each other.
Which would be really interesting to see. And I mean, I know we discussed this ad nauseum, when it comes to the season two TV show. But if they are gonna have many more NCR troopers or whatever, it'd be interesting to see what they're gonna do with the armor there. Like, is it gonna be something that's gonna be CGI'd, or are they gonna have like practical props, and how the movement with those is gonna be? I mean,
Yeah,
because you're
just
gonna
North
see it,
Ranger.
right away. Like if it's gonna be a practical prop of some sort, whether it's a foam or a 3D printed thing, like you'll see it on in the
Oh yeah.
movement.
They might even pull a Mandalorian and just modify it slightly, work better in live action. Because like the
Hmm.
Jango and Boba Fett armor covers the whole chest plate, and I
Hmm.
noticed in the Mandalorian show, it's pretty much it stops right at your
Hmm.
top of your rib cage, so they can like bend over
Hmm.
more. It kind of takes some creative liberties, and I've seen it with other stuff too. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Hmm.
Yeah, with the Ranger armor in the game, it looks like one piece because it just clips,
Right.
but mine I separate in the middle, so I lean back with the elastic. It stretches with me.
Hmm.
I can kind of bend over. Um, yeah, they don't think about that in the game, and it's like I'm curious. You can't really see it in the show much, so I don't.
Hmm.
I wonder, yeah, how if they're gonna do CGI, if they're gonna modify the chest armor, make it slightly shorter,
Right.
or they
Right.
make it three pieces like how I have it, so they can move. 'Cause, I mean, it's a real person wearing it,
Yeah.
and at the end of the day, your actor's comfort's important because they're not gonna want to film for 5 hours, and
Exactly.
you know,
Well, I know, and it's true of a lot of the Star Wars projects that they started doing a lot of flexible rubber armor
yeah,
pieces, and the paint that they've been using is this really expensive paint. It's called Illumoluster, I think. Super
I've
expensive
heard of
paint.
that.
It's so
Yeah.
pricey. I think it's like 80 bucks for 2 ounces of it or something like that.
Jeez.
But it takes it real well, and so on
I mean, they can
screen,
afford it, but
yeah,
as us cosplayers,
yeah. Well, there's what's his name, Jason Props, the basically the guy to go for a Mando armor. He's on
right.
Instagram a lot, and he uses that paint. And I mean, his stuff is top notch. And I know he's been playing around with those flexible rubber armor pieces, especially for the Bo-Katan armor. I think it's like the side, the hip pads or whatever, and it looks really good, you know. And I think they utilize it for either some of the show scenes or whatever, or it might have been like this up and coming Star Wars project. It's like a Mando movie or whatever, and they've done a
Mandalorian
lot of that.
Grogu, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Cause like I said, I mean, with Boba Fett and Jango Fett in the older movies, the only time we've seen live action Mandos, they don't really move a whole lot. They kind of just stand up and they just kind of look
Right.
cool and they move their hands
And
aside.
then
With
it
these
just
new
fly
shows,
off.
yeah, they're in like they have like 5 minutes of screen time in the whole movie, all
Mm-hmm.
together. The
Mm-hmm.
Boba's probably got maybe less than that, but yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like the Mandalorian, they had to really figure that out beforehand. Like, all right, this entire show where the main person is wearing this armor, we need to make it work better.
Mm-hmm.
And like what worked with Django, Tamora Morrison playing Django, what worked with him,
Mm-hmm.
and they've kept at least with Boba Fett coming back, they kept it pretty faithful. They changed a couple things on him, but
Mm-hmm.
I think they did a good way of the balance of like they made a cool new armor.
Right.
They didn't really give a lore reason. I guess their lore reason is it's a new era of the Mandalorians, which, if you look at the lore, they've changed their armor like 5 or 6 times. So I
Right.
guess they find like, all right, this is a convenient way to make it easier to move in. I mean, we're filming 40-minute episodes. They need to be comfortable
True.
filming for hours at a time versus again Jango Boba having like 5 minutes on time screens, like add screen time. It's like
Mm-hmm.
um yeah, it's like those paints too are definitely worth it sometimes. If it is, it sucks when you have to use it to cover a large area. And it's so expensive, but if it's something you really, really want to make perfect, you just gotta pay for it. Like I bought a little bottle of the Dirty Down Rust.
Mm-hmm.
Not sponsored, wish I was.
Oh, I
Their
love
little rust
those.
paint bottle.
I love those.
It's $20 for a little bottle, but I used it all over the buckle for my
It's so worth it.
yeah, I used all for that new buckle I got from my Ranger. It's a real metal, and I used the rust paint to age it. It looks really real, especially on like metal.
Right.
On foam, you have to do a little bit more work because it
It
doesn't
soaks
quite
it.
grab. Yeah, it kind of soaks it even if you clear coat it.
Mm-hmm.
I use it on the collar and a couple scratch pieces in the chest armor,
Mm-hmm.
but then I had to layer a couple paints over it because it just looked like a straight brown.
Mm-hmm.
But if you put it over metal, it tends to kind of like be almost a little transparent and give it some texture. I'll give it that orangish color on
Mm-hmm.
like real metal. Like I had the tote I flew my costume out with. I has real metal edges on it, and I pretty much just brushed right over, and I almost didn't have to do anything else to it. Like I
Mm.
might have very lightly brushed in a couple more colors, but the foam it acts more as a base, and you brush more colors over it,
Yeah.
which is still looks great. It gives it a great texture, but it definitely works better on real metal. So you got to kind of experiment and know what you're putting it
Mm-hmm.
on. But luckily, it's really thin like water, and you only really need a little bit.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
used it quite a bit so far, and I've still got like a half a bottle left. So
I mean, I can't say enough good stuff about those products. For everybody out there that's, making props, a beginner or whatever, if you're looking for a really good Rust product, it's Dirty Down, and the distributor in the U.S. is Goblin's Hut on Instagram. They carry two different shades of rust. They have moss, and they have these aging sprays that I've been using the crap out of too. It's
I want to try those too. Yeah, I
it's
wanted some
such
for
a yeah, it's such an interesting medium because it's acrylic based. It comes out as this fine mist, so you can
It's
just
very subtle. It's like you're almost airbrushing it,
hmm
but you just buy it out of an aerosol can. It gives you almost the same effects,
yep.
which is nice because an airbrush is a lot. Is I mean, even like the beginner kits are like $100, but you
Right.
still have to have a whole setup for it. Where that
Mhm.
you just go throw it out. Like if you want to dirty up a t-shirt,
Mhm.
you just go throw it in your yard and just take the aerosol can, shake it
Yep.
up, and just spray it where you need it, and you're done in a couple minutes. It's
And
super
and again, like
a little
one
pricey, but
it is,
the
but it's
results
so
you
worth
get,
it. It's so worth
yeah,
it.
once you get it on, they're like, all right, this is worth the $20 for the can.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, for sure.
giving you the results you need almost right away.
And then you can fix it, you depending on what kind of effect you're after, just a little Q-tip soaked in water or a little rag, you can just start to work the material off.
Yeah,
Or which if you're working with something that's got a lot of, either panel lines or crevices, that's where the stuff stays, and you just kind of
dab
you
it
can,
off the
yeah,
surface.
highlight stuff and whatnot, and you can combine the shade. I mean, it's such great stuff. I've been seeing it's quickly becoming a staple in a lot of people's arsenal when it comes to weathering. I mean,
The
I've been working with it for a couple of years now, and
Yeah, it
like I
was my
said,
first time using it with that
hmm
rust paint. I bought it for pretty much just my Ranger chest armor. Like I
hmm
want to make it look more authentic, and then I
yeah,
used it pretty much everywhere else I could. I'm like, well, I already bought the bottle for this. I might as well get more use out of
yeah.
it.
Oh, for sure. And it's
Um,
just like the best way to apply it is, just like your old brush, and just in
yeah,
layers, and the more
yeah, let it
gunky,
dry
yeah,
more. Let
the
it dry. I've learned that too
yeah,
because like I said, it's really watery,
hmm
but it's got almost like a syrupy
yeah,
consistency. It's really weird. But
yeah,
once it dries, you'll get that very even just like weathering, even if you're just using acrylic paints, I always
hmm
say weather and light passes
yeah.
unless it's you got specific
Layers
look.
is the way to go for sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I will when I do on foam, I will I'll do the rust I'll do like 3 or 4 layers of the rust and I'll dry brush on. Trying to think of the order I do it in. I forgot the exact order. I usually start darker and then I get brighter with the
hmm
rust. So I guess whatever your darker shades are. So I'll do the rust
hmm
and then I'll do like raw umber
Right.
and I'll do like burnt sienna and I think red oxide.
hmm
And I'll do a little bit more burnt sienna over it to kind of dull away the red a little bit, and it gives it that reddish yellow color in it.
Yep.
I do that on the foam. It looks so good. It looks so convincing, and it's all paint.
hmm
Some people use real rust, and more power to you.
I
I
do
don't
too.
like doing that mess. I had enough mess. I used graphite powder for the metallic on my
hmm
armor, and that was enough of a mess that is. I don't want
Yeah.
more dust and shavings on my floor. I learned
Right.
my lesson. By the
It.
way, Barry's graphite powder to paint anything, and it gets on everything. By the way, water will not get rid of it. WD-40, weirdly enough, takes it right off.
hmm
Whatever if it gets on, because
hmm
otherwise it just smears.
I
So
think
if you
it's just
ever,
the penetrating nature of WD-40 is just,
yeah,
you know.
graphite, like it's a mineral. You figure water would just
hmm
no, but it'll smear,
hmm
and you'll see it on your floor and on your table. I may have dropped some on my floor, walked on it, and it got all over my socks. There was a
Oh
lot of
yeah.
learning experience with
Oh
that. So
yeah.
the W40 was a lifesaver.
hmm
Couldn't save my socks, but at least it saved my floor and my table.
Shop rags.
I have a whole box of them. I just don't have them here. Man, I bought these for a reason. They're not even at my house. Yeah,
Right.
I bought their gore paint too from Dairy Down. I haven't used it yet, but I
I,
bought
I
a
I haven't bought it yet, but I just I don't have any projects to use it on, but I've been eyeing it, and I bought so many things in the past where it's just like this is really cool, medium or whatever. I'm just gonna buy it. I'm trying to
you just
do
save
less
it for that
less
one
less
project.
of that, yeah, because I just
Yeah,
don't know
I buy it.
how it's
You
gonna
might not use it for
behave.
5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's scary. It's like, man, you gotta do a test piece, and sometimes you have to build some layers up for it to look how you want it, because you
hmm
can't just throw on a piece of plastic.
Yeah, and it's
But I
just
bought
like
the gore paint for one specific project, so I'll show you how it behaves when I get it. It looks like
nice.
a almost like a gel, like
Right.
syrupy thing. So you
That's
can
what I kind of
string it, and
thought. Yeah.
the strings will dry with it. I bought a fake hacksaw for my Art the Clown for Terrifier from Spirit Halloween,
hmm
and it's kind of got some already on it. It looks fine off the shelf.
hmm
I mean, if you like holding it in the dark or whatever, it probably
hmm
looks convincing. It's just silver with like some thick red glossy paint. It's got it definitely has a texture and a thickness to it, but
Right.
I want it to be more convincing. So I'm gonna use the rust on it too. I'm gonna kind of combine both of them.
Right.
And
Yeah,
I
for sure.
sanded it down. I sprayed it silver, Yeah, I'm gonna definitely put some of that gore paint in the teeth. I'll probably do some stuff with the saw. I'll
See,
probably use it on some other stuff too. But I'll let you know
see, I have
how
a.
it behaves.
I just thought about a project, a
A Ripper,
death claw,
all that
and put it
too.
on the teeth because they have a product, the snot or whatever for creating like
Yeah,
saliva
it's
and
same
everything.
thing. It's just clear.
Yep.
Yep.
So
So
I've
if
been
you learn
wanting
how
to
to
do a
use
head.
one, yeah, that'd be sweet. Yeah, it's more so for miniatures, but I mean, if you use it
Hmm.
selectively in props, it can be
Hmm.
good. Like, I see you can even use like if you want stuff to look wet, you can use like
Yeah.
a resin.
Hmm.
Like SKS Props made a Chainsaw Man head, and you could probably use the gore paint for that for the teeth or
Hmm.
whatever. But he used a resin to coat him. It was really shiny looking. But you could
Right. Right.
probably do a little bit of that snot paint too
Hmm.
to give it just a little bit more. But yeah, I want to use that the gore on the hacksaw, but you could use it for a ripper from like Fallout 3 or 4 would be a
There you
really
go.
cool way to use that too. I might have to make one of those when
Or one of the
my
shish
printer gets
kebabs.
here. Yeah, the shish kebab, something just like even if it's just really subtle on the edge of the
Hmm.
blade, like a very small, or even if it's just like a blood splatter,
Yeah.
or just like whatever it is, it's like
That's the thing
it's
about
that really
these
subtle.
effects. Like you really want to go subtle, because like
Yeah,
I
less is more.
yeah, I know the desire, to use all of it and everywhere, and is real. Sometimes it's strong, but it's just
It's just so fun to beat the shit out of stuff.
yeah. Sometimes I mean that's what I do. Like with a lot of my cap stashes, when it's all like weathered up, rusted, and stuff. The last step is to just bang it on the floor. Just like throw it
Yep,
at things to get the dents
hammer it a
and
little
yeah,
bit.
yeah. That's the best part.
Some stuff it is nice to like go super heavy with. I kind of learned. I made actually was just looking. I have it right here. I have this dirty water little thing I made,
Hmm.
and I admit I went a little heavy on it. I think it still looks okay, but then I looked at my reference in the game. I'm
I
like,
remember
it's
seeing
not
that.
quite it's not quite that dirty. But I guess the one the game's copied and pasted, so there might be a couple out there that look
Right.
this dirty. You never know, but the one in the
Well,
game looks one way, so I guess you can make a couple of these and they're all gonna look different.
right. Right.
But
I think it
I
looks
did
pretty
a
good.
Jason Voorhees. Thanks, man. And it's actually for those of you who want to make one, I do have a little video. It's a box water container you
I
can
do
buy at the
remember seeing
store.
that.
It's
Yeah.
still usable.
Right on.
It's I should have brought this with me at Goodsprings. Like, oh, I'm thirsty. Just start drinking out of this.
Oh, that
But
would have
like,
been sweet.
it's like hidden behind my monitor. I just completely forgot I had it till just
Right.
now. So like, oh yeah, speaking of over weathering, I did that to like one prop this year.
Right. But
But sometimes you have to over weather some stuff because some stuff doesn't film well. Like I was my Ranger Duster.
exactly.
I
Right.
had to weather it more than I wanted to because it just was not showing up on film, especially with like a
Hmm.
brown fabric. It just does not show up. So I had to beat the shit out of it even more. And it's
Right.
still not enough. I want to beat it up more. It still doesn't barely show up. Like the
You
light has to hit it just right.
you bring up a very good point, and I remember talking to somebody about it in Good Springs. I think it might have been Cam or whatever. We're talking about how, some props are not meant to be static displays, because it's just
Yeah.
the way this stuff needs to show up on screen is really ugly in person. Because it's
Yeah.
like you just deal with like a whole bunch of splatters or whatever, and on screen or from 10 feet away, you achieve a certain effect, but then you come up to it and it's like, this thing's ugly, but it's not meant to be
Yeah.
displayed as a static prop. Its purpose is totally different.
Yeah. It's like, kind of like what I said earlier, when you have those fine like paint chips and stuff, you
Hmm.
turn your head a certain way and the light hits it, like, oh,
Yeah,
that's metal. It's like
yeah.
yeah, it's like I said, you have to over weather stuff sometimes, or it
Hmm.
just does not show up the right way, or
Well, I think I
um,
was just talking to that Fallout guy about it. When we're talking about just real quick about my suit and the props on it, and it's just like the thing about that, especially when you edit the pictures later on, it just sometimes it appears way too clean, right? Where
yeah,
like all of the props are weathered, scratched up and whatnot.
something sticks out if it's
Right.
not weathered right.
The suit, I've been meaning to get it way dirtier, and it's always at the bottom of my list. It's just like I always focus on all the cool stuff and everything that's gonna be seen because most of the suit is covered up. and it's been getting, like naturally, worn
Right.
patches, where the armor touches, there's actually rips and tears, and just, worn down places. So it's getting its, own um, share of real world weathering, dirt and whatnot. I definitely want to help it a little, but on edited photos, like it can just sometimes, come out way too clean.
Yeah. I keep looking back at my old TikToks. I'm like, man, I beat the crap out of that duster. It's still too clean. And
Yeah.
I have a clip actually, Pickle Goat and our friend Arctic recorded actually of
Mhm.
me. We met up on Saturday, it might have been Sunday, where I literally took my duster. I'm probably gonna, by this time that this goes up, the clip will probably be up on my Instagram or whatever. But I literally was dragging my coat through the dirt to dirty it
Nice.
up.
I mean, that's
I'm
what
like, this
happens.
Michigan dirt's this Michigan dirt's too dark. It doesn't show up. I need the authentic Mojave Desert dirt.
Yep.
I'm just
The
dragging it.
sandy colored,
That nice reddish
the
tan sand
ochred.
I can't get at home. Yeah, it's like I can throw paint on there, but sand just has a different. I even threw some on the helmet too. There's a couple spots of
Right.
tan on the helmet now too. Like the colors out here are just too dark. I need the authentic
Right.
stuff.
I mean,
I
again,
even put on. I rolled in it a little bit too. I don't think they got that in camera, but I like literally was rolling in it too, in my pants and everything
you
too.
never know, it might pop up somewhere.
Sure, it will. I'm sure there's somebody just filming down the road. What the hell? Why is this dude rolling on the ground in Goodsprings? What is he okay?
Turn
Just
it
like
into a
all the way down the
meme.
road, just zoomed in on me.
Right.
This guy okay?
I mean, that too is a technique, readily utilized in the film industry for sure.
Your environment and stuff too. It's like yeah, I like to fake being dirty as much as I can.
Hmm.
I don't like to be dirty. Your goal is to always look dirty, not be dirty.
Right.
But sometimes you just need a little
Extra touch.
that one layer, that extra little layer. Just throw a
Right.
little bit in. You definitely don't want real mud on your boots as you're walking through Comic Con. I don't think they're gonna like you dragging little clumps of dirt behind you. So
Right.
I'm on my boots, at the very least, I like to make it all fake because I
It's
don't.
part of the cosplay.
Yeah, like you can get the Hollywood dirt and clump it up. But I've seen
Yep.
people like, oh, I walk through actual mud. I'm like, well, it's fine for doing photo shoots, but if you go to a Comic Con indoors, they might get
Hmm.
pissed at you for if they're gonna see a trail of dirt behind you and be like, huh, so that's fake paint. That's paint, right? And you gotta be like, no,
Yeah.
that's real mud. Yeah.
uh,
Um, and our people are tracking it. It just yeah. So like I try to dirty up the fake way the most I can.
mm,
At least with sand, it just kind of
right.
yeah.
Right. I mean, yeah, for sure. I mean, you just gotta have fun with it, first and foremost.
Oh yeah, the funnest part of every costume is weathering it. Like I like
Hmm.
putting it together. The first time you put it together, like oh, all right, that looks cool.
Hmm.
I need to paint this now.
Yeah.
It does like my ODST armor. I painted all of it at once. Sometimes I'll make one piece at a time and I'll
Hmm.
paint it as I go.
Hmm.
Sometimes I'll paint it in like all one batch. It kind of depends on what kind of time I got. But my
Right.
ODST armor, I mean, I have a picture of me wearing it of just all the foam and it's just straight gray. I'm like, this looks great.
Right.
So like even better when I beat the shit out of it and I
Yeah.
paint it.
Yeah, for sure.
And my ODST armor, I think I need to do another weathering pass on that because I went subtle with that. I'm like, it personally looks great, but on camera, it just looks like it's straight gray. Like you
Hmm.
cannot see any of the weathering on it like at all unless it's a close up.
Right. Yeah, I can definitely relate to that. Once I get over the first bump of hoping that it'll all fit together, I just can't wait to first get it that first coat of primer, because that's where it just makes it pop, and
Yep.
then just get down to painting and weathering and all that good stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's just that's what you do. You definitely got
Yep.
to be patient with it,
It,
and
it's it sucks. I've gotten lucky and I've rushed things and they still look really good,
hmm.
but I've had a couple things like my tote I made. It's just like a cheap Sterilite tote I bought from
Hmm.
Walmart. It's like $10,
Hmm.
and I learned my lesson that I should have sanded the whole thing before painting it because I've never painted that type of. I don't know what type of plastic it is. It's really pliable.
Right,
Um,
just peeled right off of it.
Yeah, yeah. So the TSA, I had the New California Republic right on the front. I hand cut a stencil out for that, very painstakingly with the X-Acto knife, and very carefully hand sponged it on. It came out great. TSA slapped a big old sticker right in the middle, and when I pull it
Oh
off, it ripped off
God.
most of it. So I got to redo the whole tote now, which is my own fault. But at least the tote is cheap. It's just a three
Right.
hours of my time I have to, But
Yeah.
I put some stickers on it too, and a couple of stickers pull off the paint. There's a lot of black spots where the
Mm.
bare plastic's at. So I've learned my lesson. So this is for you other cosplayers out there. When you're traveling, I mean, I made this tote just to stuff in my closet because I didn't want to. I needed to keep it safe. But
Mm.
when you're making a cosplay tote, if it's plastic, make sure you sand the ever living shit out of it, or your paint will just peel off, and you'll have to repaint the entire
Mhm.
thing. And you're probably just better off getting a new one.
Yeah,
I am.
you don't save
I'm
yourself
gonna buy
any
a new
time.
tote.
Yeah, for sure.
No, I'm probably just gonna buy a whole new tote because
Right.
I mean, I just patches of paint peeled off. It'd just be easier to buy a new one and just sand it all
Start
and
again.
make sure and probably actually use a primer this time.
Right.
I did see somewhere I should have did this. There's a special automotive paint you can buy for plastics that are like that,
Mhm.
where it's made for painting bumpers on cars. Actually,
Yeah.
I'll have to find out what it is. I think it's like Duplicolor or Rust-Oleum that makes it,
Yeah.
but specifically like a bumper primer, and it's really
Flexible.
good for yeah, it's really good for stuff exactly like that. So you probably don't have to sand it as much. But I didn't want to go spend $20 on a primer. I just wanted to use my couple $5 ale cans and just get it done. I originally did a Vault Tech paint job on it, and it looked like crap. So I repainted and did the NCR, which I'm glad I did.
Nice.
But now that I've learned the sticker thing and the primer thing, I'm gonna remake it, and hopefully when the TSA beats the shit out of it next time around,
It'll
look better.
withstand everything.
I might do a couple more base layers of like gunmetal or something, so at least when it chips off, it looks like metal and not
Yeah.
just black plastic,
Mhm.
because it doesn't really look right
Yeah.
in Fallout. Like there's plastic, but not like that. It just looks
Right.
weird. Um, but
For
maybe I'll do
sure.
just like metallic undercoats on it. At least when it chips, it'll with time it'll look more realistic as it goes through a couple planes.
Right.
Because
Right.
if the black plastic, if it was gunmetal under that, it might look cool.
I
But
think
it
so.
doesn't.
Yeah.
So
It.
I'll let you guys know for that for next year when I go to Goodsprings if I
There
go
we
how that
go.
holds up next year.
There we go. Um. But yeah, listen. It's been awesome chatting with you. I think we've gone over everything. From Good Springs to prop making to collecting.
Good bit.
We
Gonna be a
touched
longer
on.
episode for sure.
Oh, oh, I'm all for it. And if we can provide some value for folks out there, be it prop making, we drop some knowledge for sure. So if you guys find it useful, uh, that's I mean, why are we doing this in the first place, right? It's to entertain.
Exactly. Share knowledge and our experiences. And if we can help you learn from something and save you some grief of learning the failures that we have, we can help you skip some of the failures that we had.
Yep,
We can get you to the finish line quicker, learn from our mistakes. I always believe in learn from other people's
absolutely.
mistakes so you're not making them too.
Right.
It save yourself a headache.
Absolutely. So yeah, why don't you take this time to just tell people where to find you, what you got going on in the foreseeable future, and name drop anybody, anything. We've done that, pretty extensively throughout the
Throughout the
episode.
episode, yeah.
But if you want to give a special shout out to anybody else out there, go wild.
All right. I'm Nick from Onyxprops, ONYX. I'm on pretty much every social media. I'm the most active on Instagram. I still post to Insta or TikTok and YouTube. I'm just if you need to get a hold of me or you need to ask something, Instagram is the best way to get a hold of me. I'm on it like all day. Getting more into doing short films like a few minutes long. I'm trying to get more into longer form content. Um, Usually I do a lot of skits still here and there, but I'm trying to get more to longer form stuff this year. So be on the lookout for more cinematic, I guess, movie s stuff from me. I kind of dipped my toes in the water a little bit early this year. I like to bring that to a bigger scale and I get some
Hmm.
more people. But yeah, I'm on everything. If you want some more creators who are like me to follow, Haxo Courier, awesome guy from Australia. He's another ranger. It's Haxo Courier. Pickle Goat, she's a great friend of mine also. She does a lot of Fallout informative content. So if you're looking to learn about lore or how to get into 76, she does a lot of Fallout 76 content. She is like the person to go to for that. She
Oh, right
knows
on.
that game like the back of her hand. She's got a lot of time. And Zeo Keo mentioned him also. Zeo Keo. I think he pronounces his name differently, but he's
Hmm.
never corrected me. So he might just be too nice to correct me. But Zeo Keo, great guy also, another Ranger cosplayer. He also does stuff like Mass Effect and Dead Space. So he does a little bit of everything like myself. He doesn't just do Fallout. So if you want a couple more creators, go check him out. And also give Marty a follow too. He's an awesome guy. If you're not already following Marty
Oh, I
and the
appreciate
rest
it.
of the Wild Wasteland Marketplace, all great people. Met them all in person, so I can attest to it. Great vibes, great people from all corners of the globe. So if you're not following all these amazing people, now's a good time to start. A lot of good stuff out there.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, thanks for the shout out, man, for myself
Hey, thanks
and
for having me on, man.
oh, it's been a blast, and this is not the last time. I mean, there's going to be plenty more opportunities. I mean, there's so much stuff, that we're planning to put out there, and like you mentioned, all of these awesome creators. I mean, they got so much stuff going on, and with the upcoming season 2 of the Fallout TV show, there's just going to be exciting stuff left and right. And just to reiterate, a few things that I might have mentioned in the beginning or throughout the episode. If you guys are looking for collectibles, official Bethesda gear collectibles, and you want to save some money, please support your favorite creator. This week we have Onyx here, so go ahead, get him a whole bunch of sales using his code OnyxSave3. You get a 20% off discount. He gets a little kickback to produce more awesome content. Um, it doesn't cost you a cent. You do a good thing, and we're always super appreciative of you using our codes. I think I speak for all of us that are ambassadors. Uh, Speaking for myself, I probably wouldn't have had 99% of the stuff that I currently do if it wasn't for you guys. So we really do appreciate it. Go ahead and give Onyx a follow on all the platforms that he mentioned: Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Same thing goes for the Wild Wastelanders Market. On Facebook, it's the Wild Wastelanders Fallout Market. Instagram, the Wild Wastelanders Market. And just be a part of a great community. It's we do tons of giveaways, great giveaways. We have so many of these great guys and gals donate either official merchandise or props that they've manufactured or produced themselves. And we have a really fun way of going about the giveaways. It's usually, pretty creative. And the feedback from you has been nothing but great. And so we hear you. We want to give you more of that. If you're in for more Fallout content, news, and everything that just kind of falls under that umbrella, we got you. And again, it's over on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and just if you just want to chat Fallout, we got you. So go ahead and you know do all the things. Do all the things. Find us everywhere. And lastly, if you want to get a feature on the show, or if you want to be a guest on this podcast, definitely go ahead and join that group over on Facebook. Um, but for now, that's enough for me. I think I rambled long enough. It's Onyx and Marty signing out. All right. I'll catch you in the next one.
Another night with the wild wasteland.